Hello and welcome to the Clash of Clans World Championship Qualifiers. My name is Banks and I am your desk host, and it's day 2 and we've had some truly outstanding performances from our clans so far, including a perfect war from ATN.aTTaX yesterday. But there is still a long way to go before anyone gets their hands on that ever-elusive golden ticket. So before we crack on, I'd like to introduce my 2 casters for the day. It is of course Woody and Carbon Finn.
Thanks very much, Banks. We have got some amazing clashing coming on today. 6 clans remain, but only one of them will get the golden ticket. We've got 2 more eliminations up. Carbon, what are you looking most forward to?
Oh, I cannot wait. Like you mentioned, we'll be eliminating 2 more clans here today to get those top 4 and getting closer to seeing who will be qualified for the World Finals for the $1 million prize pool, Banks.
Exactly, Carbon. Quickly take us through who's still remaining in Group A.
Yeah, for Group A, we have Tribe Gaming and Resistance. They will be facing off here in the very first match. They both won, and then the loser will be taking ATN.aTTaX for the elimination match.
And in Group B, what are we talking about, Woody?
Yeah, Hama defeated Kapinalaset, and INTZ defeated Darkest MuZhan. Those 2 clans went down to the bottom bracket where Darkest MuZhan emerged victorious.
Yes, well, 2 teams have been sent packing. That means 6 teams remain in the driver's seat. So we have quite some good clan wars coming up, and it sure is going to heat up. And it's almost time to meet our first 2 teams that are going to be taking part for that first semi-final slot. But first, let's learn a little bit more about the clans involved.
What is the best looking troop in the game?
피카. 아무래도 페카가 제일 멋있죠.
So the bowler, can't go wrong with the bowler.
I would say the headhunter.
Best looking troop, because I am male, I would say the Royal Queen.
Best looking troop in the game for me is the headhunter.
Eu acredito que seja a rainha.
Ooh, the archer queen.
Apart from playing Clash of Clans, what do you do in your spare time?
会健身. 제가 시간은 주로 영화나 드라마 같은 걸 보면서 지냅니다.
Love to watch a bit of Netflix.
I do sports and spend time with my family.
I am liking to watch movies.
In my spare time, I do YouTube videos for Clash of Clans.
Bom, eu gosto de assistir vídeos no YouTube e assistir streams também.
I have a YouTube channel that I spend a lot of time trying to push.
What is your favorite cuisine?
폴란. 파스타를 좋아해요.
Don't mind a good curry, so definitely Indian.
That would be steak.
And definitely the Korean food.
My favorite food is Italian food.
Batata, eu acho.
I don't know if this is cuisine, but I love pizza.
I've always wondered what Marinal's favorite food is, and I'm happy to know that it is potatoes. So we're going to be kicking off our first match of the day, and it is Tribe Gaming who are going to be taking on Resistance. Let's see what happens.
Oh man, we're looking like we're going straight into this match here, Woody. And with Resistance, we'll be kicking it off. Benji is going to be going into this attack with the hybrid. And let's take a look at the attack. Drops that blimp straight away. Oh boy, can he take the Town Hall down on Lexnos' base? And the Town Hall is barely just ending, and finally it does go down right there, Woody.
Oh my goodness, all gas and no brakes from Benji, the first attacker from Resistance, moving in hot with that battle blade to take down the Town Hall. Nice job to him there. He got a 78% in his attack yesterday, so we're looking to see an improvement on that today if they're going to keep pace with Tribe Gaming, the team that is now considered to possibly be the favorite after having defeated ATN.aTTaX yesterday. We asked Twitch chat which team would be the first team to get a triple, and 87% of the respondents said Tribe Gaming. That puts a lot of pressure on Benji to perform here and now.
Absolutely does put the pressure on here, and the Queen is taking on the Ice Golems here. Going to freeze up her, no worries, there's no defenses, and the healers look to be in range, which is okay. The Queen's going to get healed back up with the super wall break, charging straight into the base. King pops his ability up top, looking to get that Queen to go all the way towards that Eagle Artillery. There is the next super wall breaker, and we'll get all these walls open, no problem for this Queen, and depends on the pathing where she's going to decide to go. Is she going to go into the scatter? She can't reach that air defense. Pulls one of the Seeking Air Mines and a Poison Spell to slow things down. And he's got to send in the hybrid around the top side. Hopefully the funnel was set, and hopefully these miners don't go around to the 9 o'clock section.
Pops down that scatter shot and finishes out the Royal Champion. This Queen is on a rampage in the top side of the space. The main stage of the attack is now underway with the Grand Warden supporting these Hog Riders streaming through the top lane. They're going to go for those Expos pretty soon after and don't have to worry about any multi-target Infernos on the backside, so they're relatively safe. Miners supporting along the outside edge for a little bit of additional cleanup, but look out for those spring traps. A couple of Hogs already jettisoned off the map. There goes the Grand Warden Eternal Tome protecting them when they need it most. Lots of splash damage from the scatter shot though. Carbon, can they make it through?
Yeah, they're charging their way through that with that Warden Eternal Tome. The Queen is going to stay up towards the back side of this base here. That scatter shot is still up there, but it was frozen. Looks like it's about to go down here with the Royal Champion ability still intact. The biggest threat now is going to be the single target for the Queen going down. He's got a handful of miners, but I talked about it. The funnel over on the left side was a huge thing that all these miners, they did not go into the core of this base, and the Hogs got picked off. Down goes the Royal Champion. Ground Skeleton does pop. And with these final defenses, it looks like these miners are going to have a little trouble making it through. He's got just about 20 seconds left in this raid. If anything, he's not going to have the time to overwhelm it.
No time left for you, Benji. A 2-star, an improvement on his attack from yesterday in a high 80%. But yeah, just like you mentioned, Carbon Fin, failing to funnel the miners to assist those Hog Riders, left them on cleanup duty on the exterior rather than taking down those key defensive structures on the inside of the base. So 2-star, 89% will set the pace for Resistance. A solid attack, but just short of the 3 stars that they were hoping for.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna fall short right there. Did have a really nice Queen charge into the base, but unfortunately she did go down. And the biggest thing is sometimes you'll see a Siege Barracks maybe be used to help funnel the hybrid, but instead he ended up using the Blimp to go straight in and take that Town Hall down and pull that Clan Council out early. But we're getting into the very next attack, and we have Nick coming in with the Zap Lalo, and he was the one that kicked off the war that was yesterday, and he used the Zap Lalo. Gonna use the Lightnings first right here to try to help take down this Clan Castle and the Eagle Artillery, and now we can do the little hero portion to Sui into the base, and then Lalo around with 2 headhunters here, Woody.
That's a massive amount of damage from those early spells, but remember, when you invest so much on the front end, you're not going to have too much spell support on the back side. He's got 3 more haste spells and 2 freeze, the perfect complement for this La Lune attack. This Sui hero dive up in the top left corner is going to get him a couple more enemy structures down, crucially taking out that Royal Champion. Headhunters coming in clutch to make sure that she is eliminated early on. Barbarian King is going to smash through a few more structures on the outside, but it doesn't look like he has much more in the way of key structures to have to take down. Maybe he can soak a little bit for the rest of this attack, but as he cleans out the rest of the trash structures on the top, his main job is to just provide some additional funneling and finish off the undefended buildings at the outside.
Yeah, now the biggest question is going to be, can he get this Queen to go for the Town Hall? At least, is that his objective here? He's got about a minute 55 left in the raid. There's a super wall break, and unfortunately, I don't know, because that Royal Champion took that air defense down, the could not target that corner wall with the super wall breaker. So that was a big issue right there. And you really want to get that down early so that the Queen could have walked in. All right, so he drops the archer. Look at that. Uses the one archer to see where the Queen will go, and she's going to go straight to the Town Hall. What a very smart play right there.
Yeah, super interesting use of this, that one little archer to make sure that the Queen is going to stay right on target. Pops the ability right before she was about to go down and starts the main phase of the attack. Now we're already, with only a minute and 20 seconds left, gonna need a real quick hit here from Nick. He scored a 3-star strike yesterday with a similar attack strategy, so he's definitely one of the experts in the game at La Lune, but he's got very little time left now with just over a minute and still pummeling these defenses, but doing his best to keep pace against the rest of the space. Still have a couple of wizard towers on the outside, but this is a big force supported with an Eternal Tome. He might just have the 3-star in the bag, Carbon.
What he's trying to go through. The biggest threat now is that scatter shot. The balloons are right around it. Unfortunately, he's got 1 freeze and 1 balloon still to use. The Grand Warden gets locked down by the he's still getting hit by the scatter now, but unfortunately, I don't know, he drops the freeze. The scatter shot gets a shot off there. 34 seconds. The wizard tower is tanking, but unfortunately, it looks like this scatter shot might be doing a little bit too much work. Down goes the balloons, and unfortunately, this dragon's not going to have enough to finish this one off.
Why are you going for the king? He can't hit you. Scatter shot, the MVP on defense for Trento. Nick left with a 95% 2-star, just a nickel missing out of that triple.
Nick with a really unfortunate turn of events there, only being able to bring home that 95% 2-star, but that percentage increase does put them above resistance for now. Isn't that right, Carbon?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to look to try to get those high percentage at 2-stars, and if you can't get those through, we've been seeing some of the wars that were yesterday in the competition, and a lot of them were in the high 90s, and if it comes down to those tie star wars, you really need the high 90%, and that is what Nick did deliver right here. Very nice attempt there with the Zap Lalo, and we're going to be jumping into the very next attack here for resistance. We have Atomic T, and he's going in with the Yeti Smash with the 2 jump spells. He's going to try to charge his way in, starting off with that Grand Warden walk, Woody.
Yeah, just mondo value from that scatter shot in the last game. I think it took out something like half a dozen pups with one single splash shot out the backside. So that was more than enough to keep Trento alive. Atomic T for resistance needs to pull ahead with basically a triple if he wants to get resistance ahead of where Tribe is right now. Tribe with a really strong strike to start things off with, but short of the 3 stars that we had come to see from them yesterday. It's all up in the air who's going to get the first 3-star today, but starting off with this Yeti Smash attack, he's going to lead into the bowlers pretty soon after, Carbon.
Yeah, I was going to mention he's going to do a Grand Warden walk, but it looks like no, he's just going to charge. Wait, is he missing his... Oh no, he's missing his Warden that he's not deployed yet. God. So, oh no, so he's going to lose a ton of Oh shoot, the Warden ability. He was a little delayed there, and unfortunately, he didn't protect too much. He didn't protect the healers, and he's charging his way through with the Eagle on the bottom side down there. He's got the Raw Champion to try and help clear that Eagle artillery, but let's see, will he have enough to charge his way through the bottom side here?
No,
with
no
2
way.
freezes left to use. He's got
not going to happen, Carbon. He was out of the frying pan and straight into the fire. When he was taking so much defensive damage from those turrets, he didn't have the crucial Warden. That life aura is a major boon for such a big army, and especially when they're set the ground and trying to tank that many shots. The Yetis and bowlers just got evaporated by those defenses. Atomic T still has a few forces trickling out onto the backside, but as you can see, only 40% of the base has been destroyed at this point. He's got a lot of easy cleanup along the bottom side, but this Tesla farm is going to complicate things just a bit more, starting to zap away at this Royal Champion. I don't think a 3-star is within reach, but don't count him out just yet.
2 freezes.
Yeah, 2 freezes and the Queen ability. So this is definitely going to come close, but man, lost a big force early on in this raid. Had a very solid shot at 3 stars and still is going for it. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, that Royal Champion does just go down. Queen's got her ability, and everything's on the outside that the Queen can reach, and he's beating through the wall, pops the ability, and now it's going to be a matter of time. Can the Queen, with the Wizard coming down south, it's not looking too bad. He's just going to rely on this Queen and the Yetis to move all the way around. The Queen can get everything, Woody.
Yeah, it looks like they've swooped around the bottom edge of the base, and we're safe from most of the damage on the interior there. Atomic T is still slugging through the rest of these defenses, and it doesn't look like there's anything that can really present much of a threat to either the Queen or the Grand Warden. So at this point, it's just at the time with 30 seconds left. I'd say it's now better favored odds that he's going to make the 3-star happen after all, Carbon.
We'll have to see the Queen, and I don't think there's anything else there, and not zoomed out entirely, drops that free spell, and it looks like 96, 97. Yeah, that is going to be the first triple here of this war, and resistance coming in with the Yeti Smash when he misses his Warden and the ability to protect everything, but he still was able to get it done. It shows you the power just charging right into the core.
Incredible job there. That's going to put resistance back up on top now. The first 3 stars. So we have upset Twitch chat. They thought that there was a 90% chance that it would be Tribe coming in first with that 3-star, but resistance has scored a triple. Atomic T, who got a 66% 2-star yesterday, has really turned things around for these fighters, and they are now just barely in the lead on stars and tied up on percentage overall destruction.
Yeah, it's neck and neck, super close right here in terms of the percentage, but Tribe is going to have to look to get that 3-star to get the advantage back because they're down. It was a very nice attack to charge in, but imagine if he was able to get that Warden ability off to protect even more. He would have had even more firepower into the core of that base to have way more troops. But we're jumping into the next tech, which is going to be Lexnos, and he's coming in with the hybrid, and this is one of his favorite attacks, and using the Yetis to help set the funnel for his Queen.
It's time for Lexnos. He got a 3-star in his hit yesterday, so one of the heavier hitters for this tribe squad. A very experienced Clash of Clans pro. Starting out with these suit heroes out the left. He might actually add on those healers later on, to the queen, so she'll be able to charge into the base. Barb King going along the bottom side. Doesn't look like he's going to be doing a whole lot to protect her on the later stage of this attack, but with this hybrid army, miners and hog riders, he'll be able to swoop in with 3 rage spells. A pretty rage-heavy comp here, but that should be good enough to keep the queen topped off through all this damage that's coming in against her. Cannons, archer towers firing away at this poor girl, but I think she's going to make it, Carbon.
Yeah, it pulls out a little bit of the CC here, dealing with the double expos here. As long as that air expo that's in the core, thank goodness it was not on ground. She would be getting hit by 3 expos potentially, and that would be super deadly. But he's going to charge with another super wall break straight into the town hall, pulls out double ice golems, does have a poison spell to use. The king set a very nice funnel down south, so he got the value. Now the queen is going to be able to help take out this town hall and then get ready for the siege barracks and hybrid that's going to come through. The queen's going to slow down. The one thing she can't reach is going to be that single target. So I would assume we're going to see the hybrid coming in from the top side.
Yeah, top side with the Grand Warden to support, still holding onto the Royal Champion as well. She targets directly onto those defenses, and with that big shield swing, she can dish out a ton of damage. Oh, actually going to come out on the left corner. Interesting move there. He's got a really nice funnel set up so that these hogs are going to swoop around in a counterclockwise position, going around to the bottom side first. Maybe that will be enough to keep this queen protected, because she really doesn't have to go up against any of those single target Infernos, Carbon.
Yeah, she won't have to go up against that. I was thinking since the wall was open towards that Eagle Artillery, we're going to give her a chance to go down there. But granted, she had to get through the enemy king, the queen, and a ton of value there. The scatter shot's doing some work on this hybrid, and the queen is staying up. As long as the queen can try to beat through this wall and get some nice value, drops the freeze onto the scatter, the hybrid splits up a little bit. Get ready for the next heal spell, and let's see where all the troops are. They're kind of splitting off in these different directions. Queen already burned her ability, and he doesn't have any more freeze spells. There's the heal. Here comes the hogs coming out of the CC. Can he? Oh, the queen goes down. I don't know. Will he have enough to help finish this one off, Woody?
That queen is taking a beating. That Grand Warden statue almost went down, but it's still standing and now firing away at the healers, which has swapped off onto, the Grand Warden? Okay, they're going for the miners now. Should still give Lexnos a little bit more cushion for this attack. 87% and 27 seconds left. Fires away the last super wall breaker, and it's all up to chance at this point, hoping that these hogs can make it all the way through the base. 20 seconds left. Carbon, can he beat this race?
It's going to come down to the final few seconds. And remember, his last raid was the exact same thing. Came down to the final second. He's got 9 seconds. He needs his wizards to clutch it up. Come on, can they grab the king platform? And there we go, with Lex getting the 3-star right here to answer and giving Tribe now the advantage going into the next attack. Wow, Banks, absolutely incredible. Lex does it again.
Yes, Resistance came in with a 100% 3-star, thinking that they'd secured a nice little nudge in front of Tribe Gaming. However, Lexnos comes back with a 1-2 punch and returns the favor with another 100% 3-star. Woody, break down this replay for me.
Well, gladly. I'm not sure we're going to be jumping into a replay, though. We've already got our next attack underway. It's going to be Trento from Resistance going up against Eve Check. Trento yesterday scored a 53% 2-star, a really shaky result that barely kept him alive. Let's see if he can turn things around this time and go in with that a bit more standard attack strategy, running that Yeti smash combo that we've seen so much of today already, and played very successfully by previous attackers. Tribe hold a slim lead right now, so Trento really wants to put that additional triple on the board to push his team over the edge.
Oh, I was just looking at this. I was looking very closely, and I think I saw a balloon go in there, and there might have been a seeking air mine that popped up, but it would have traveled to the healers. But since the update, it only goes 2 times the trigger radius of the trap. So I think there was, you can't really notice it nowadays, but I think I barely saw a trap if anyone was looking really closely there. But Trento's going to charge his way straight into the core with the Yetis and the bowlers, all the way to the town. He's going to double jump his way in with the siege barracks all the way towards the right side. There is the lava hound that's going to slow the queen down, and there are there's some headhunters. He's got to have to charge his way through this core here.
Yeah, that's a scary core. That Archer Queen taking a few hop shots, but with the rage and so many healers up, she is doing just fine on the back end. That Grand Warden needs to pop that ability pretty soon. He's taking a lot of fire in the interior, but he wants to wait until that Town Hall is going down. That big bomb from the death damage can dish out a ton to your attacking troops. He's trying to jump through the rest of the core, and that's working out pretty well for him here. Splashing damage with bowlers left and right, but the Royal Champion is starting to engage on defense. Eve checks. Defenses are not going to go down without a fight. 2 single target Infernos really far spread out on this base. Could cause some problems. That right side Royal Champion stabbing her way through with a couple of Hog Riders out in front, but I'm not sure how far she can make it. Got to use this ability soon, Carbon.
Yeah, he did finally use his last free spell right there with the Royal Champion has her ability. She's not going to be able to get through pretty much a single unless there's a ground skelly. No, there is not a ground skelly, so she should be able to get it down, but down she goes. His queen burns her ability, and that single target Inferno is gonna do work, and she finally goes down right there. Gonna look to be just maybe near a 70% here. He's got about 55 seconds and 1 balloon. The Grand Warden should get some nice value to help clean up on the top side of this base. He's gonna try to find the best use. Oh no, he steps inside to that single target Inferno range, and he's gonna go down super quick. He could have gotten a lot more value right there. Oh, how unfortunate of that Warden. He's got the Wizard, some archers down and around, and it looks like it's just going to be about a 75% here. Very nice try from Trento.
Ah, my. Echek with a beautiful defense in this war. Tribe Gaming will move far ahead now. This relatively low overall damage percentage strike from Resistance will give Tribe a big lead. 75%, a solid attempt, but man, jumping out of the core when you're taking so much heavy firepower was just too tall of an order to expect that Yeti Smash to be able to pull off. Nice trade to Trento, but yeah, we'll be timing out pretty soon here. Looks like in a high 70% hit, Carbon.
Yep, 77% 2-star right there. It was kind of forced that Warden ability early, and it lost a lot of the momentum in that core of the base. Very nice try. It had hogs that came out of the siege barracks, but it just was that push into the core with that Warden ability. And the beautiful thing is the Lava Hound comes out of the CC, slows your queen down, and keeps those healers sometimes behind. But they did transfer off. Unfortunately, just was not able to keep the Yetis, the bowlers all alive since the Warden ability was used pretty early.
A bit aggressive on the front edge with those spells, left Trento without enough support to continue his push through the rest of the base. With the totals being counted up now, we've got Resistance at an 88.7% overall damage. 2 attacks left for that squad, but Tribe could pull far ahead now if they get another triple up on board. Remember, we've only seen attacks from 2 of those players so far. Lexnos grabbing that 3-star, but Evechek also got a triple yesterday, so he could certainly put us over the edge. Itsu, one of the famed players from Tribe Gaming, one of the longest playing competitive gamers in this Clash Worlds Championship qualifier. High expectations for him bringing in a hybrid army with a little headhunter once again.
Wow.
To help snipe down the enemy heroes.
Look at that, using 5 lightning spells, coming in with a hybrid. I have yet to see this attack strategy. It's the hybrid zap, or the zap hybrid. That's incredible value. Gonna have a queen charge to move in, and it's only gonna use 1 heal spell and 1 rage on this queen charge, and took out the expo in that compartment as well. Incredible value. Look at this. Now here comes the headhunters. Needs to take them down 1 and 2. 1 shot apiece for them very easily. And now the queen is gonna charge her way close up to that town hall, and then we'll see maybe the hybrid come down south, still waiting on to use that king. It's gonna take him some time to deal with that clan castle, Woody.
Yeah, those headhunters head directly for enemy heroes. So if there's any other troops that are closer out on the board, those other CC troops are going to follow onto them instead. The Lava Hound kind of pathing down toward the bottom position. Itsu is able to isolate those headhunters and pop them down easy peasy. They can deal a lot of damage to heroes, but they don't have a lot of hit points themselves. Definitely a downside to putting headhunters in the CC if an attacker knows how to exploit that weakness.
Absolutely. Now he's trying to do his absolute best to save onto his 1 rage spell, because he needs to utilize this in the perfect spot. He does use it right there as the queen's going to step up into the Grand Warden, the scatter. The eagle locks onto her. He's got to be very patient. He needs to make sure this queen is going to go for that town hall there before he deploys the rest of his troops. There's a miner on the mortar to make sure that hopefully the queen does make her way towards that air defense. She does. Oh wait, is the mortar going to go down? It does. Where is she going to go next? Up to the storage. Uh-oh. I don't know. There's the clan
castle. She should go for bomb tower next, right?
Oh, but it's on the outside of the wall.
Uh-oh.
Where will she go next? Did she go path the right way? Oh, she's going up and around, away from the town hall. Pops the Warden ability. Uh-oh, this Town Hall is going to be wiping these healers. He's going to be ending. He uses the freeze spell, but he's going to be ending on the Town Hall here up top. Uh-oh, he's taking all the risks. He already did pop that Grand Warden ability. The miners are moving their way through. King already popped his ability. Queen's going to burn hers, and he's going to move his way through. Bops to the Queen. He sends a Headhunter in to help take out the King. But watch out, the Town Hall still standing. The Queen's going to damage it. It's going to be close. Oh my goodness, Woody.
It's not going down. I don't think so, Carbon. Look at that.
Wow.
The Queen makes a few shots off, but that is just one of the scary spots that using your battle blimp or your other siege machine early on in a way that's a bit atypical. Not gonna.
Can the Royal Champion clutch it? Oh my God! Wait a second.
Gonna get it after all.
Is he gonna 3-star?
I think he might.
Itsu, what? Oh, he left the Town Hall for the end, and Itsu comes in with a triple. What? Oh my goodness! From a 1-star to a 3-star. That's incredible, Banks.
Itsu coming in clutch for Tribe Gaming at the end, showing an absolute showcase of experience when it comes to Clash of Clans esports. He is absolutely phenomenal. Let's look at the replay.
Itsu, the clutch, God, throws away his battle blimp for early damage, gets a bad luck on the Queen pathing, but still manages to loop around with the rest of the army. Grand Warden, Royal Champion, and Hogs out the bottom side, dealing a ton of damage to those defensive structures, and finally finishing them off with just barely any few seconds left. This is the sort of risky play that Tribe Gaming has been rewarded for time and time again, putting the most difficult base in the target of their most skilled attacker. Itsu pulling off the triple there really cements their lead over Resistance, Carbon.
Absolutely incredible, but now Resistance need to come in with a plan. They need a triple to answer the call because they are down by quite a bit, by that triple and percent. So here comes the super wall break, charging this Queen straight into this bottom single target Inferno. Pops the King ability to help clear off the enemy Royal Champion. This Queen looking to step into the single. Out comes a ground Skelly and drops the Rage, and down it goes, so he only needs to invest the 1 freeze and get ready for her to pull out this Clan Castle. He's got 2 more super wall breakers. He's looking to charge this Queen all the way through the core of this base.
Panadol, one of the 2 players to score a triple yesterday for Resistance, might just be the MVP of this squad alongside TK. He was talking a pretty big game during the interviews yesterday and seemed to think that he has got nothing to fear from Tribe Gaming. Moving in hot with his Queen at the bottom, but she's taken a big punishing shot from the Eagle Artillery and CC.
Oh, the
barely
Queen!
stand up, but no! What? Goes down, and that's a ton of pops. These healers are not long for this world, Carbon.
Wow, he tried to charge the Queen straight into the Eagle Artillery, but that sweeper was pushing those healers back. Combination of the Expo, the Eagle shots, and the Lava Hound with the Headhunter that was there absolutely took that Queen down super quick, and now he's gonna have to charge his way through without the Queen staying up. The healers are gone. He's looking just to save this 2-star, Woody.
We've seen bigger upsets before, Carbon. Panadol is not going to give up without a fight, moving in straight toward that Town Hall and takes it out only seconds after it gets activated. That's a lot of Hogs and a lot of miners still left. Single target Infernos on the backside, so don't really have to worry about splash damage from them. But finally now taking down that Eagle Artillery, which has been so punishing to both stages of the attack so far. Panadol running out of steam, but still powering through best he can. Lots of structures on the outside that he hasn't been able to claim, and he's got no way to do cleanup on them, though, with overall damage just barely passing that 60% mark. I think Panadol has fallen far short of what he expected, Carbon.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just going to be approaching a 70% range here. And yeah, he wanted to keep that Queen alive, but the sweeper right there, pushing those healers back, made all the difference. So the healers couldn't keep that consistent healing effect on the Queen. So all that damage started to rack up and then eventually killed off the Queen into that charge. She couldn't get the Eagle. She couldn't get the funnel to help set for the hybrid. And you can see how the attack went. Plus, popping the Hound at the last second, which caused all those pups to come out, is absolutely devastating for the attack like there. And there it is, actually finishing not into 70. It's going to be a 69% 2-star there on Eve Maxi's base.
Solid attempt. That's going to give Resistance an 83.8% average destruction, though. And with that, Tribe have got the chance to come far ahead for the lead. Take a look at that Queen going down right there. This replay shows early on what was wrong with Panadol's attack, just putting a little bit too much on the line and asking too much of those healers, getting pushed back and back. Even with a raid spell to try to top off that Queen, she was just getting obliterated by Expos left and right, Carbon.
Yeah, absolutely. The queen just could not be kept alive there, but we're jumping into the very next attack, which is going to be Eve check, and he's using the super witches again. He used them yesterday, and he got that 3-star with them, and now here comes the next Grand Warden, and he's going to show you guys how to exactly use these super witches. Has the 6 wall breakers to break through an initial layer wall. We have a couple single target infernos on the base with the clan castle near this town hall. Grand Warden's going to take his time, and let's see the type of value using the giant and a super witch. Nice idea right there to make sure that the super witch doesn't take any damage. Rest of the wall breakers come down, did a little test wall break, and now hopefully this Grand Warden's going to pull his way back up, and he's going to charge into the town hall and then jump through the core. Woody.
Interesting strategy here, but I'm liking it. Yurek did score a triple yesterday, so he's looking for the back-to-back on that one. Sends in a couple of heroes up at the top side to dish out even more damage. These super witches can go the distance here, but not if they get fired on if their big boy is abandoning them out in front. So one of those witches is actually going to path around to the outside of the base, supporting the Barbarian King on the bottom. The other 3 will be on the inside with the rest of the big boys and Archer Queen and Grand Warden. Big old use of the Grand Warden ability to protect that giant bomb exploding right next to the town hall. But man, we've got a lot of firepower left still in this base. The Arch Queen and Eagle Artillery relatively centered in TK's boxy base, firing away at these attacking troops now, Carbon.
Yeah, the queen had to burn her ability into the core against some nice value there. The single target infernos locking onto some of the, I think it's the big boy, not the super witch, means the super witch can spawn another one of them. Hogs are finally coming out with one more headhunter to use, and the Royal Champion's following these hogs around this base. He does only have one more phrase spell, but can these big boys be giant tanks in the core? They might make a huge difference here, Woody.
Those healers have taken an absolute pounding from the Eagle Artillery. An air bomb could finish one off. No, looks like he still has 4 of them up there, but just a sliver of hit points left on them. Going to use that Royal Champion on his last free spell to take out the single target Inferno over on the right side. That should leave the rest of this bulky raid with very little resistance on the back end. I don't see any other big structures except for that one last single target Inferno. Not really protected by walls, though. Up on the top corner, you see that they might be able to sneak in as long as they can avoid getting fired on from the interior. So lots of walls still to drill through. I'm just a little bit worried about time at this point, Carbon.
Yeah, I mean, he's got about 43, plenty of time. He does still have the Royal Champion ability. He's forced to pop it there, unfortunately, which means the Royal Champion's going to move her way, and she's going to get locked down, but there is an opening in the wall. This is going to be a 3-star, Woody, right here for Tribe Gaming again. And Eve Check going with another triple with the Super Witches. Unbelievable. Tribe Gaming coming in with the high percent 2, and then now all these 3 stars coming in. Beautiful job using the Super Witches. Banks, it's just showing how to use these new troops here.
That was the place, that was the moment, that was the time for Tribe Gaming to pull away. Unfortunately, from Panadol coming in with the 69% 2-star, allowed Tribe Gaming to come in and just demolish that base. Eve Check, what an amazing display right there.
That is going to be the nail in the coffin, folks. Tribe Gaming now with a 2-star lead on 4 attacks already from each team. Even with a triple from Resistance, you just need a little pithy attack from Tribe afterwards to clean things up here. TK, the MVP from Resistance yesterday, having put a triple up on the board, is going to try to give one more last hurrah for his squad. This is a double elim tournament, so the loser of this war is going to go down to face alternate attacks. So keep an eye out for Resistance or Tribe coming in the future, but it looks like all signs point to Tribe getting the walk-away win on this early hit, Carbon.
Yeah, uses the Ice Golem. King's going to charge straight into this Town Hall, looking just to try to add another triple here for Resistance. And the Queen's going to help remove this air defense. King's going to grab the Town Hall. Ice Golem does freeze perfectly there. And look at this. Can the Queen grab the Scatter? The enemy Royal Champion, that's going to be a lot of value here. Let's take a look. Hopefully, oh yes, the King does take the storage down. I'm going to force that Queen in. Royal Champion coming in behind. We still have 2 headhunters to use. And let's see where the enemy Queen, she's up top, and the Royal Champion goes down. That's a lot of value so far with the Sui value. And then you get a Lalo around from the bottom side. Yep, there it is with the scatter shot down there. It's looking pretty good because he's not going to fight any sweepers through this air pathing.
Yeah, aggressive play with that hero dive early on. He's already gotten maximum value from them, though, and they'll be down for the count after this. Only has the Grand Warden on the back end to try to boost these balloons. It looks like he's pathing a little bit slow, but he'll might catch up to them. We did see a little bit of a buff to the Grand Warden AI, so yeah, it looks like he's got all those balloons in his life aura now. Oh, nice, a little balloon's going to break off from the pack to go take down that sweeper if it can get in range. Takes a big air bomb and is going a bit slow, but I'm worried about the rest of these balloons having popped off from the rest of the pack now. It looks like he's only got about half of his forces left, but the Stone Slammer's coming in at the last second to try to salvage the rest of this push. Archer Queen on defense is going to deal a ton of damage, though. It doesn't seem like he has any way to deal with her, Carbon.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Stone Slammer has a dragon inside of it, and that was supposed to be able to help take that queen. But this Tesla farm that popped over at 3 o'clock had a bunch of red air bombs there, and it did so much work to these balloons, and now they're able to just go down so quick to these defenses. And this dragon's going to get locked down by the single target Inferno eventually, and that queen not going to be able to have enough. Drops the freeze spell to try to help save it, but the dragon needs to go for the queen, and it doesn't look like the dragon's doing it.
I don't think it's going to be enough, Carbon. Unfortunately, these sweepers, which seem to be pointed away from the bulk of the raid, are now actually going to potentially be the saving graces for Itsu's base. Defense is holding up now against this big push from TK, which only has got a couple of defensive structures left, the X-Bow and sweeper in the middle, but just enough firepower from the Queen to deny the triple. Great attempt here from TK, but just slightly underestimated the strength of the sweepers through the back end.
Yeah, unfortunately there, the minions will be able to grab some more percent on the top side, but there's literally nothing left in the base that can hurt the air except for the queen in the core there, and just was not able to take her down. The Stone Slammer path angle was a little off, was not expecting maybe a Tesla farm that popped over there, so it stalled up and didn't go exactly to the queen, but the sweepers ended up pushing it back. Really nice try from TK of resistance, and unfortunately Tribe does have another attack. They just need to get a percentage here and they'll be able to take this one, but they're going for the triple. They're going for 14 stars. They want to make a statement here in day 2.
Certainly do. Yep, but have to put one more single star on the board, and that would be sufficient for the win. I'm pretty sure Maxi is up to the task, but let's see if he can keep the firepower going. Another triple here would give them 14 stars total and send a pretty clear message to the rest of the field that Tribe Gaming is the team to beat.
Absolutely. We're going to see Maxi coming in with the Mass Dragons. He's got the heal, 3 rages, 4 free spells, and he does have 1 haste, guys, which might be used maybe towards the back end to haste some balloons in to charge their way through, or that's usually typically when you see 1 haste being used, or maybe when a Stone Slammer pops through a section. But we'll have to see. He's going to charge the dragon straight in from the top side to fly straight into the sweeper. King pops his ability all the way on the outside, pulls a bit of the clan castle out, which is some archers, and you're going to be able to deal with the rest of it with his dragons when he flies straight in.
Tribe Gaming remaining undefeated is a big boon for them, not having to pop as many bases as enemies that get kicked down to the lower bracket. Performing so well yesterday and today and looking guaranteed to move on to the playoffs now. But let's take a look at the big raid coming in from Maxi. Mass Dragons, not one of the most favorite attack strategies, but boy, when you find a base that's weak against this big aerial army, there's very little that you can do to stop that much damage from coming through, especially with a Town Hall near the outside of the base. Dropping the bombs right there, you've got it. The 1 star sufficient to give Tribe Gaming the win. They'll be swooping through the rest of the base for an additional victory lap.
And here we go. We do see the Stone Slammer coming down south. He does have that 1 haste spell. Going to be curious to see where he uses, but he still has the Royal Champion to use coming in on the Arch Tower to go straight into this air defense here. The dragons are spreading around very nicely, and he pops the Royal Champion ability here, and the dragons are flying around, but this single target Inferno is going to do some massive work. Is he going to be able to go down? No, but he still has this haste spell that he can drop somewhere in the base. Let's see how much value that he can get with it. Royal Champion's doing some damage here. He's barely on the bomb. Takes her down there, but is he going to have enough dragons to fly through? He's got a handful of them.
Yeah, he still has 4 dragons, maybe 5 dragons left. Yeah, the one's a little bit on the outside up there. Once they kind of group up, because that top dragon's going to slow down a little bit while these other dragons are catching up, that should be enough firepower to get the triple carbon. I'm thinking that it's looking odds-on favorite for Maxi to pull off another 3 star.
Yeah, looking like Eve Maxi gonna come in with the dragons, drops the haste finally. It's 2 balloons going straight for that single target Inferno. It's gonna make its way there. The dragons move straight onto the haste, push the dragons there. Down it goes. The Grand Warden full health gonna help take down these defenses. And that is another 3-star for Tribe Gaming, which is going to put them at 14 with a 99% destruction average. Absolutely incredible performance right there.
That does not seem to happen, does it? That just doesn't seem to happen. A 99% average percentage for this matchup. 14 stars to 11 for Tribe Gaming. And yes, that's right, Woody. Tribe Gaming, you get that banner up. Resistance only coming in with 1 triple, but Tribe Gaming yesterday coming in with the 3 triples and now coming away with 4 in this round, just to showcase that level of talent and that level that you're going to have to go up against in the semi-finals tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Come away with 7 triples in the 2 wars. Man, the 70% hit rate. Now Tribe is going to be advancing to the playoffs now. Woody, absolutely incredible performance right there.
Congratulations to our team in red. One of the highest, actually the definitive highest hit rate of any squad so far in this Clash of Clans World Championship. A 99% overall destruction. So even on the ones that they don't triple, they still get really big hits. Incredible performance from Tribe, and echoing their showing last year. I think that we have got a very good chance to see them moving on through the playoff bracket and performing very well tomorrow, Carbon.
Unfortunately, Resistance are going to be slipping down into the bracket where they will be playing against ATN.aTTaX for that one more shot to get into the semi-finals. But first, I'm going to throw you over to Judo at the Telestrator to break down the match.
Thank you, Banks. Another incredible performance by Tribe. They were behind, but they managed to pull in so many 3 stars. This one by Lexnos got us started. A YouTuber and streamer himself, often attacking live. Maybe that helped him to hold it together. However, we've seen the hybrid used a couple of times. The Queen charge often used to enter the base. So the King is used right across to the left to set up the funnel. Also, I really like the use of the Yeti and the Wizard up top to do exactly the same job and allow the Archer Queen then directly into the base. Interestingly, he can use the Barbarian King as a secondary objective to set up for the hybrid. We will get to that in a second. Now, I really like that Lexnos, thinking fast, recognizes that he hasn't pulled the entire CC. You can have 45 troops at a max level clan castle, and he knows they weren't all pulled, has to save onto the poison spell. Now, the rage spells are very, very important for your Queen charges. Notice that Lexnos has the healers and the Queen inside that rage. Try and get maximum damage if you can. And whilst he has a couple of seconds, this is where the pro players really do show how good they are. Sending in an archer right at the top of the base just to help with time, which we know in this attack was super important. But what about the pathing he has set up? The Queen taking out this central area, the King taking out that bottom area, means the hybrid can come straight in. Enters from the bottom to get to the Eagle Artillery early on, and also that gives us access to the scatter shots incredibly quickly. But we also have the Siege Barracks dropped on the outside to keep the miners and hogs on the inside of the base. Vitally important, set up that pathing to keep your miners and hogs on the inside. From there, it's all about using your spells on the splash damages. Freezes the scatter shot, also get some added defenses if you can, alongside the heal spells. And another really important factor is try and save onto your hero abilities. Notice that Lexnos waits on the Royal Champion until the last moment, because you never know when then heroes will come in clutch. Congratulations to Tribe, moving on to the final day 3, and we will be seeing Resistance taking on ATN.aTTaX later on in the stream, but let's find out a little bit more about our players.
How would you explain Clash of Clans to someone who has never played a game in their life?
我会说，你玩这个游戏会让你变得越来越聪明。
Probably the greatest game ever created.
A game that you can play in a lot of different ways.
mind game between two players.
I think I would try to compare Clash of Clans a little bit to chess because I think it has like this same strategy power where you try to outmind your opponent.
Bom, o Clash of Clans é um jogo extremamente social e também um jogo que envolve muita estratégia e análise.
It's a game that you utilize a lot of strategizing to be successful.
What do you think of your teammates?
我觉得我的队友们都很强。
굉장히 믿음직한 팀원들이라고 생각합니다.
Soldiers in the battlefield that'll pick you up whenever you're down.
They are excellent guys.
My mates are really great, and I'm really looking forward to see them in real life.
I'm really happy with my teammates. We have a lot of motivated guys in there, and we have a couple of guys which I'm already friends with.
Eles são jogadores extremamente focados e dedicados e que estão com o mesmo objetivo que eu, que é ser campeão.
I like that Itsu relates Clash of Clans to chess. Very interesting, because he's playing mind games with everyone. Now, we have a very interesting matchup coming up next because we have two very different teams. One being the powerhouse that is INTZ, and also we have the lesser-known Hama coming into this match. However, Hama came out of the gates looking very, very strong. So, Woody, could Hama cause an upset with INTZ?
Could they? Certainly, yes. I think that they had one of the highest hit rates and especially highest overall average destruction rates of any team yesterday. They actually got 2 3-stars, which is not super stellar, but with a 98, a 95, and a 92% destruction in the 2-stars that they picked up, it's going to be really tough to beat them on percentage destruction. INTZ is going to have to bring their A game just like yesterday when they got 3 triples.
I think that regarding the update, like we've mentioned yesterday and in previous matches, it really is anyone's game. Being able to actually come out clutch it really is anyone's game. And Carbon, what do you think about Hama's attack strategy? Because they're going to have to go in hard to go up against INTZ.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw the performance yesterday. They had 97 average destruction. I believe with that, they can compete against anyone in the world. And that's a huge potential for an upset. We'll see, because INTZ could come here as favorites. Everyone's seen them in the community before, but we're jumping straight into this attack here with INTZ kicking off with Renon, and he's going in with the Yeti Smash, starting off with that Grand Warden Walk, looking to help set that funnel, maybe to grab the air defense, the Archer Tower, and even potentially the Wizard Tower if he wants to get a second layer walk there. And he's got to set the funnel on the other side. He's going to do a classic charge, both to jump spells or even actually the super wall breaker for the initial section, and to jump his way and try to charge his way into the core, because we've seen the earlier attacks that a Warden either was missed or a Warden was late on the ability, and it still ended up actually getting the triple. So this attack strategy could be super strong if done right.
Renon picked up a triple yesterday, so it's all on him to start a strong pace against the Hama Hippopotamuses. On defense, Giovanni was one of the clutch attackers for Hama yesterday, and his base looks to be something fearsome to go up against. He's got both of the scatter shots over on the left side corner. That's going to be difficult to defeat when he's sending his troops over onto the right side instead. So expect to see a lot of splash damage come in. I don't see any heal spells at all for this squad, so it's really going to come up to whether or not these healers stay on target. Renon's going to be jumping and raging through the rest of the space and trying to use those free spells to keep his troops safe. But take a look at this Inferno Dragon in the CC. Virtually guarantees at least one of these big troops is going down. It looks like it's burnt up one Yeti already, Carbon.
Yeah, the Lava Hound does just pop there, uses the poison to help clear some of these pops to get the Queen to go charge into the core, but the healers did switch off to the boulders in the core here, and I don't see any more Yetis in the middle. It's all coming down the boulders. The healers are trying to keep them alive through the scatter shot. If the Hogs are going to come out delayed from the siege barracks, and this could have some real good potential, because that jump spell connects the backside of this base with this Royal Champion running down south. It's going to really come down to this enemy king, but he's got at least one headhunter for the enemy king down there. This is looking really solid. I'm liking it.
The scatters were destroyed, and with that, Renon, without any Yetis or boulders left, still has plenty of health on his two main attacking heroes in the left corner. That bottom side strike is going to get the job done, knocking down virtually all of the defenses. Royal Champion still has her ability, which she can use on the Teslas here. No, instead, Renon's going to use one of his last remaining free spells, but with the hero coming in hot, I think that's going to be just enough for Renon. He's got 37 seconds left. That should be enough time to finish the rest of the cleanup. Lots of troops to spread around, and it's even got another couple of wizards to add to the fun.
Yep, I absolutely loved that use of the Royal Champion in that exact moment, because he popped it and he took out those defenses that would have targeted her while she got stuck on the Skellies and the enemy king, and he's going to come in to kick off this war with a 3-star for INTZ. Remember, this is the second day, and the loser of this match will be taking on Dargis MuZhan, so neither one of them wants to lose here, but there's always that second chance, and he comes in, Renon, with that 3-star with the Yeti smash. Very nice attack.
A thin margin of victory, and having lost most of his attacking troops in the core there, he still kept his heroes nice and tight, using those healers to keep them topped off. INTZ comes storming into this war against Hama with a 3-star. How will Hama respond? They need to keep the pace right here.
Absolutely. Hama's going to have to come in, and I know they can come in with any attack strategy. They can do the air, the ground, some bat spells, dragons, literally you name it, they can do it. So they're breaking these bases down on INTZ's side, and they're going to be going in with the very next attack. They need to answer. They need to get the 3 stars to match the pace with INTZ, because I'm feeling this war is at least going to be around 13. At least the winner needs to get 13 stars with those 3 triples to have a chance. But we're going to see Ranjo coming in with the hybrid and only the 4 healers and sending in that blimp right away into the single target Inferno. And look at that. Hang on, was that the death damage of the blimp that actually took out some of those ground skellies? Was actually really nice there, so the Yetis didn't get stuck on them.
Yeah, nice little compliment of splash damage over there. Ronyo got a 3-star yesterday and is going to be leading the charge with his Archer Queen in the bottom left now. She's going to be able to take out that CC and give this hybrid army a little bit more coverage moving through the base. 3 heal spells and 2 rage are going to be the main complements to this attack. Poison dropped out there on the left side to get that CC down. But take a look at the backside of the space and try to identify the main threats that we have to this attack. Eagle Artillery, Archer Queen, Barbarian King, all relatively clustered in the top central side of the base. Scatter shots in that corner as well. So I'm expecting to see a big slugfest as these Hog Riders move their way from the bottom corner to the very top. This is going to be a marathon charge, Carbon Fin.
Yeah, absolutely, with this queen going straight on the top side. Look at that, broke the wall open so the queen can continue her path up. Does have another super wall breaker, but get ready for this grand warded ability, perfectly timed through the town hall explosion and through these scatter shots. And look at this, and I think the enemy king is going to slow down these miners quite a bit with the eagle shot still raining down. They're kind of splitting off in different directions, going looks like to the left side here. He needs to try to keep them up. They're not going the best ideal location because the queen and her healers are all gone. Uh-oh, I don't know if he can keep this alive with no more spells, unfortunately.
Miner's streaming out to the top side, and he's missing his healers now. Yeah, good point there, Carbon, but still has the Archer Queen ability. A little bit of damage that he can do, but not really concentrating his firepower. His heroes stuck out on the backside, hitting away at those poor walls. Miner's not getting the life or a bonus from that Grand Warden. Left them high and dry. Ronyo is going to be denied the 3-star from Hama's first attack here. Nice job on defense to Renon. Excellent job keeping his troops well, or his defenses well protected up on the top side here. Lots of little compartments. Seemed like it wouldn't be too difficult for the Hogs and Miners to be able to burrow and hop over, but those scatter shots and heroes up on the top side were just too much of a tall order to ask of Rango's troops.
Yeah, unfortunately with that queen losing the healers there and all the hybrid kind of split off into the different directions, it just... Fortunately, that's kind of what happens there. You really need to set that funnel to kind of push them straight and keep them together, but was not able to get that done. Renon coming in with the 3-star to kick off this war, and then also holding a very nice defense, which is going to be right in the mid-70s here, and that's beautiful because we've been seeing attacks that are like averaging in this competition upper towards 90%. Those are the winning clans that are getting high in the 90s. Really nice try right there, Banks. We're gonna have to see some crazy attacks. They're gonna have to bring some high 2-stars, even more triples to have a chance to stand against INTZ.
They are indeed. Hama unfortunately kicking things off with a 77% 2-star, and INTZ stamping their foot down and exclaiming that you are going to need to bring your A game if you are going to go up against us at this stage in the competition. Woody, what did you think of that match?
The last two battles really seem to give INTZ a big tilting advantage in this war, but we're already ready to hop into their second attack. Coming in from Celino, it's going to be a Lalo hit, 7 lightning spells, and just 1 earthquake to rain down the thunder of the gods on this base. Keep an eye out for where those get dropped, usually really early on in the raid. Dropped it right there in the center, taking out a couple of really key defensive structures there. But eyes are still looking at that Archer Queen over there in the top compartment. She could still cause a lot of trouble for this raid, so watch that Headhunter. Expect to see her go for that target pretty soon on.
Yeah, so he dropped the lightnings a little off there to help grab the other sweeper that was outside, which meant that he couldn't grab that scatter shot because he didn't drop all the kind of the 5 spells to help on the corner there, which is between the CC and the scatter, which means he's going to charge his queen, still going to be able to get the town hall. But the beautiful thing about this attack strategy is you don't need to bring a poison, deal with that CC. It's just incredible. I've never had an attack strategy that gives and opens up an opportunity like this to let you charge into the base and then Lalo or send hogs or a couple of different attack strategies without worrying about an enemy clan castle. Did use that free spell. I wonder if that free spell was necessary because the Raw champion was coming over to help assist that queen there.
Yeah, it seemed like a little bit of a panic free spell there, but Celino's already done a lot of the early work for this raid with these heroes and that lightning drop early on. He's got 3 haste spells, but still a lot of ground to cover in this space. Stone Slammer is a great complement, and he gets lucky with this Tesla farm out on the left side early on. Dropping that down is going to deny a potentially really big defensive boon for Yurek. Celino, I'd say, still has got a solid chance at making the triple happen here, Carbon.
Absolutely. He's going to Lalo around, get ready. Keep your eye on this Headhunter. What I would do here is Lalo around, get that Grand Warden, and drop that Headhunter and use the Warden ability to protect the Headhunter to take out this queen. That's the only way, unless you take out all the defenses, because there is this Ground Expo that can do a major work to the Headhunter since it's only targeting ground. And here goes the balloons moving their way. No, he does pop it early, so he's saving onto the Headhunter for later in the raid. He didn't get the timing down there, so he's going to have the balloons fly around with 1 more haste and a handful of 3 more balloons, actually, and a final haste there.
Haste.
Look at these pups. They're doing some massive work on this queen. And he finally drops. Does he drop the head on? I can't even see unless they got taken out really quick. And the balloons are going to target onto the defenses, target on the queen, and down
the pups are going on the queen. Minions going on the queen. Balloons dropping left and right. There's no more defenses building left. I think he's got it, Carbon Fit. Celino with 37 seconds, rather. It's got the cleanup easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Drops it down and finishes it off. INTZ off to a major victory in their first 2 attacks.
Oh my goodness, that's 2 for 2 for INTZ now. They are coming in and showing how to get it done here in day 2. They want to put their best effort here to get to the playoffs. Unbelievable. Now Hama's going to have to answer. They need to get 2 triples, maybe even 3, because of that percentage game is going to be completely not in their favor. So this is going to really come down to this next attack. Hama's going to have to answer, Woody.
This is going to be a massive uphill struggle, but if there's anyone to start that long slug, it's got to be Giovanni. Pulled off a 3-star in the clutch moment at the end of his attack yesterday with less than a second left, getting that triple. He's going to be moving in this time with a hybrid army, 16 miners and 12 hog riders, backed up with a more traditional spell complement to boost them, 2 heal spells and 3 rages. Hits the early CC pull with the Archer Queen over on the right side and using that poison spell to grab all the defending troops. Nice start here for Giovanni, but he's starting to run low on time, 30 seconds in, and we're waiting for stage 2 to begin.
Yeah, absolutely. The queen is going to charge her way through. And I mean, this clan castle was on the outside, so it was super easy to help pull out that CC, no worries. And I'm surprised there was a lava hound, to be honest. Usually when you have a clan castle that's on the edge like that is super easy to lure, it's going to have like 30 or so archers in there to make it a nightmare to try to easily pull out the CC. But even at that, you can charge the queen in and just drop 1 poison and take it out, no worries. But the big thing is, look at the single target inferno that's behind the town hall. The queen cannot reach that unless he uses a super wall breaker to break the queen into there and then grab it. Looks like some Teslas have popped. It was some ground expos on her, but she can't even reach that scatter shot that's behind there. So that could be something that could do a major work to the Queen unless he starts this hybrid early and charges right past it.
I am really worried about time this attack, Carbon Fin. We are halfway into the raid and only 20% of the damage has been dealt to this base. Giovanni didn't have a single second to spare in his attack yesterday, and I think that we're seeing a pretty similar cutting it down to the wire strategy this time. Sends in those hogs and miners though, and they've got a perfect path to cut through the rest of the base. He's moving in hot and fast as best he can, knocks down the town hall and starts to centralize the rest of this army, moving in against Eagle Artillery and Inferno Towers. He's still's got a shot, but wow, this is gonna be close, Carbon.
Yeah, absolutely. The miners are moving through. The Queen was able to grab that single target Inferno. She's going down to the Expo right there. Finally drops the freeze, but a little bit too late. The Queen goes down, and he does have the Royal Champion still on the bottom side, but a lot of the momentum of the core is looking like it's going down. All the hogs from the main deployment have died off. He has the hogs from the siege barracks, but very nice try there. It's looking like, oh, wait a second, unless he can, the healer transfer could be clutch. Royal Champion's got her ability. That they're actually moving their way through. Even though the hogs died, they did the work.
Though there's nothing really to focus down the defenses. He's got a few miners over on the right side and still has got a little bit of damage left for that Expo. Now he's done it. He's finished off all of the defenses. Yeah. It's all up to cleanup at this point. But like I said, he's so close on time. Why have you got to torture us, Giovanni? 15 seconds left. Can he finish off the last buildings? I think he's got it. By Jove, he does. 100% 3-star. Drop the hammer. Hama are still in this fight.
Giovanni coming in clutch for Hama right when they needed to, because that is the boost that they need to really get back into this game. Now all they need is for INTZ to maybe slip up on one of the bases. Let's take a look at the replay, Carbon.
Yeah, the Queen was able to help grab that Town Hall. Even though the tassels and the expos forced that Queen ability early, she was able to still get the value. But this rage spell that was in the core kind of almost was a little bit of a kind of a swag rage. Only a few of the miners were able to utilize it. It could have been a little bit better dropped to the left side, but he was still able to get it. The hogs did die off really early, but he got the value down really early, which just left up not too much in the backside. Very nice 3-star there from Hama, and they needed to answer that because we're jumping into the next attack here. That is going to be INTZ. Air is going to be going in, and he is deciding to go in with another hybrid. We're seeing quite a bit of hybrid attacks here, Woody, in this war.
I think it speaks volumes that off of such a clutch 3-star, Hama are just still barely breathing. INTZ with a star lead on them already and looking dominant in this next attack. Air scored a triple yesterday, and it's got a really strong hybrid army comp set up once again, bringing the double heal spell, triple rage, just as we saw from our previous hit by Giovanni. He's going to start on the bottom side with this Queen charge, using those healers to keep her his Queen nice and topped off. Has got a lot of really good targets to strike at early on in this raid. I'm looking for the heroes. I can't quite see them. They're off screen right now, but the shape of this base isn't looking too bad for Air. He does have a couple of ground targeting expos on the interior that could cause some problems. Lots of long-range damage on this defense from Ronyo.
Absolutely. We're going to have to see if this Queen does end up charging the Town Hall. It doesn't look like it. The Dark Barracks is going to stay up, which is going to bring the Queen around, but he has that super wall breaker to break through the scatter shot wall, which will help bring that Queen towards the Town Hall, deal with the air defense, the Expo, the Clan Castle, getting tremendous value, and then he'll be able to add on top of it, which is going to be the Siege Barracks to help us set that additional funnel. But look at these healers, the Red Air Bomb, the Town Hall doing massive work, and the Queen, finally takes the Town Hall down.
That was really, really risky, and Air is going to lose this Archer Queen if he's not careful, taking a ton of fire and already dropped one of his healers to a Seeking Air Mine. She's used her power now, and with those ground expos starting to try to lock onto her, she is in dire straits. Gets topped off, if just barely, but that is exactly what you want to see in a super complicated hit like this. You've got to leverage every single bit of resource that you've got, and Air has barely kept his Queen alive. That is going to be a massive advantage moving into stage 2 of this attack, as the main force are now crushing this base. Hog Riders and Miners are storming through these walls undefended, crushing the rest of the defensive splash structures, finishing off the wizard towers, and just still has got that Eagle Artillery up and firing away at his troops, but he's finally made his way on there. This looks like a triple, Carbon.
Absolutely, the Hogs moving their way through the top side. The Queen is still standing down south. The biggest threat would be that single target Inferno. This ground skelly is going to slow down these miners on the top, but he's looking like he's got plenty. Oh wait, the Hogs, are they going to go down here to the Wiz Tower? They're grouping up here with the Warden to help, but I believe he just has quite a bit of troops that are going to be overwhelmed. It's going to come down to time. Queen's going to beat through the wall, help grab some of these buildings, gets locked down by the single target Inferno, but she's going to do enough damage. Is she going to take it down? And she does for the 3-star for INTZ, and they're gonna start off this war 3 for 3. Absolutely incredible what we're seeing here in day 2.
Alternate attacks showing us the only perfect war yesterday, but INTZ with the tic-tac-toe triple might just be coming back with that booming echo, bringing the heat against Hama right now, but they are going to return fire just as fast as they can. Miso is already in action with a Yeti smash comp, Carbon.
Yeah, he's looking to answer with the Yeti smash with 2 jumps. They need the triple as well to answer. And I was talking about, oh, we're going to need 13. Well, it's looking like you're going to have to get 14 to have a chance against INTZ, and hope that they don't add any more triples and keep it to 13. It's going to be an epic showcase down to the wire here. The balloon moving in to test for those Seeking Air Mines to protect those healers, but decides to use the Queen early here, and using a Queen on this base is not a bad idea. Biggest reason why is because it looks to be symmetrical, meaning it's the same on each side. You could drop the Queen somewhere at 12 o'clock, and then she'll go left, she'll go right, whichever way she goes, just do the exact same plan and just flip it to make sure the Yetis and the Bullets charge their way through. So it's perfectly fine. I can see using that Queen to charge their way through instead of a Grand Wooden Walk, because the Grand Wooden does take that much longer to set that funnel.
I couldn't see exactly what was getting the pull on that CC, but it looked like those troops were kind of streaming out bit by bit, slowly coming out to give the Archer Queen lots of opportunity to pop down the troops that were out in front. She didn't have any trouble with those headhunters, able to one-shot them, and without any tanking out in front, they were an easy snack for Miso from Hama, now moving through the left corner of this base with his main Yeti smash striking force. Hasn't gone for the Town Hall yet, and that's going to give me a little bit of worry, but he does have a battle blimp for an easy drop if he chooses to use it that way. Yes, he will. Sends in the battle blimp at that 10 o'clock position, and it'll beeline directly for the Town Hall.
Yeah, and he knew he was safe to send the blimp there because the healers passed that exact direction, the exact space that the blimp crossed. So he knew there was no Seeking Air Mines, and he knew it was going to be protected, because normally you would want to hit that one ability to protect the blimp to go to the Town Hall, but since the healers crossed that area, he knew no SAMs were there, so that he could send the blimp perfectly safe, took the Town Hall down, and now the Raw Champion's coming down south, but there is one Stroll Tesla, which he's going to drop the balloon, and the red air bomb, let's see if the Tesla will go down. No, it's just barely the one. Yeti Bite takes it down right there, but we still have a single, but there is a freeze left in the, he can still use that to protect the Raw Champion.
Nice job to that little Yeti Mine busting down the Tesla out there. Battle Blimp does its job perfectly, even soaking a Seeking Air Mine. It's got a ton of hit points and managed to get the Town Hall finished off. I'm still worried about time, though, on this attack. Miso looked really strong early on, but he's running low on it. Battle ends in 30 seconds, and with only 83% damage, there's a lot of defensive structures still on the top side of the space, Carbon.
Yeah, the one thing that he can't actually reach is going to be the Expo and actually the Gold, the Expo, the Wizard Tower, and the Gold Source here. The Grand Warden, granted, can reach those, unless the boulders skip from the cannon. Nope, well, they took the cannon out right there from the skip damage. But unfortunately, not going to be enough time here. The one healer, or the couple healers, are trying to keep these troops alive, but time is not going to be on his side, and Hama's going to fall short yet again. Trying to go up against INTZ, looking so solid right now, Banks. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the unfortunate incident of time management, time not being on your side when it comes to the end of your attack. It's so unfortunate to see, but I think Hama now know that they have to clutch this out, and if they're going to clutch it, it's going to have to be with 2 triples, and something dramatic is going to have to happen to INTZ's attacks.
Not going to happen, guys. I don't want to call it too soon, but INTZ is so far ahead that it would be almost impossible for Hama to come up at this point. We would have to see a massive fail from INTZ, the likes of which they have never done before. So just reliable 2-star hits from INTZ here on out would be enough to move on to the playoffs. Hama have got a lot fingers crossed if they want to try to get on with a win over these guys right now. 2-star deficit in their first 3 attacks. Bernal from INTZ is no slouch either. Having pulled off that massive 91% 2-star, he's going to keep that percentage really high and is well known also for doing deep dives into this space with his Queen charge. He's got 5 healers, so expect to see him charging in very shortly. There she goes in the left side corner.
Yeah, uses that blimp to sit right into that compartment, but did not get... Oh, wait. Can he take the Queen? No, the Queen broke through the wall there. I wonder if he wanted to get just a little bit further to try to get that enemy Queen down, because he did end up using the raid spell there. Now he still has the ability to charge his Queen straight into the town hall, and Bernal is using the super wall breaker. We saw in this attack yesterday that he decided not to use a super wall breaker. He went with regular wall breakers. Granted, the Queen might have went the wrong way in that attack, but now he charges the Queen, finds a sneaky air mine when the balloon was that close, unfortunately. But he is going to be able to take this town hall down and needs to find a way to take out, or the hybrid can actually take the Queen out, so that's not the biggest deal, but it would really help if that Queen can reach to take her down.
Minesweeper Coconut Loon misses its job and loses a healer here. Bernal still going brave on the charge in, sends in a super wall breaker, and that's going to crack an outer compartment. Not sure if that was the intended target here for Bernal, whose Queen is still deep in the middle of this space, charging in hard, but getting heated up by a ton of defenses. Still will stay alive with the thanks of that rage spell, and we see the main phase of the attack starting now in the top corner. Wow, an early Eternal Tome here to keep these hogs protected, soaking fire from both of these scatter shots, and an Eagle artillery that is just pummeling away at them. It goes down though, and with these heal spells, these hogs are looking relatively topped off, feeling good with just a couple of spring traps to send a few of them away, but I don't know if there's enough splash damage on the backside to deny them. This is looking really good for the triple, Carbon.
Yeah, he's pushing his way through. I'm just curious of what that poison spell was there for. I don't think there was anything in the core. The only thing I saw was the headhunters, but those were his headhunters. The hogs are pushing their way through. The ground skeleton does pop roll. Champion has their ability. And look at that, the lava hound was down south, so the Queen never had to deal with it. And yet again, this is going to be another 3-star from INTZ here. And wow, Bernal coming in. And now they're going to try to put up a perfect war and try to get the second one in history in the qualifiers, because we saw one yesterday coming in from all 3 attacks. There is the Queen ability, and just another flawless attack from INTZ.
Awesome job to Bernal, and a dominating sweep through the rest of the space. Not even close on the time. He's got it in the bag. INTZ gonna walk away the winners with, wow, just 4 attacks on the board. Impossible for Hama to catch up unless INTZ just throws away their 5th attack. Hama have really put up a good show here, but INTZ on pace to get another perfect war, are looking like absolute monsters. I'm looking into the future, Carbon, and I see INTZ and Tribe with big stars next to their names. Only maybe alternate attacks could be the team to knock them down. Guess we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. That's the beautiful thing about this, is we play out every single match, and that's why every single person, every single team has the opportunity to prove themselves, and they want to upset, and that's what this is all about. Anybody, even watching at home, has a chance to compete in this tournament. All you have to do is you can either complete in-game through the CWL or either online through the ESL Online Play, and you can see yourselves here to compete as well. But now we're going to see if PSH for Hama is going to be coming in with the E-Dragons, and he does use some lightnings to kick it off with the balloon on the outside, and he's just going to try to full send the E-Drags to overwhelm. He sees a bunch of chain value. I'm not an E-Drag attacker, so I'm just going to just be taking notes to see what he's doing and how he breaks this space down.
PSH, a veteran from Vatang, is now allied with the Hama army and is using this E-Drag attack, which actually managed to get a 3-star in our wars yesterday. We saw Will Halen from Kapinalaset grab that triple using E-Drags, but interestingly, PSH this time is going to be running out with some balloons out in front, trying to find a Seeking Air Mine. Doesn't look like he has done it this time, but nevertheless still has a really strong E-Drag complement swooping through the rest of the space. A couple of rages and 3 heal spells to try to soak some additional firepower coming in, mostly from these 2 single target Infernos, which can absolutely roast Inferno Dragons, Carbon.
Absolutely. He did drop that freeze on the Inferno Dragon right there, which it went down really early. So that was really interesting because the freeze spell had to be used and it could have been used somewhere else. Let's say he drops it right there on the scatter. The Royal Champion's coming down south. So if he didn't have to use that freeze spell on the Inferno Dragon, potentially he could have used it here on this Royal Champion. Is this going to make the difference for a potential 3-star?
I don't know. It's looking a bit iffy to me. That single target Inferno is looking pretty scary, burning through this Royal Champion who doesn't have her ability left anymore. And with the lock on the Archer Queen, that's going to be all over Carbon Fin. PSH's attack is going to come back with a high 70% hit. May be able to reach 80 if these Archers are out of range. And have the time to take down this gold storage. But E-Drag's not getting the job done. That Tesla farm out in the bottom right corner of the base might have been what gave Celino's defenses the stopping power necessary to shut down the two E-Drags that had kind of swept out to that right side there. Inferno Dragon on defense was an interesting choice from him there. Really effective against these armies that have only a very few number of attackers. Things like Electro Dragons take up so much housing space that it's hard to get a really big army built around them. You saw PSH try to insulate those dragons using balloons, but just not going to get enough coverage out in front this time. The shielding effect of those balloons not used to the best advantage. Unfortunately, you just don't know where those traps are, and you got to do your best to hope that you get them positioned in the right spot, right, Carbon?
Absolutely. That's the beautiful thing is these bases, they're fresh, right? They built them. You don't know where the traps are, and that's what makes it difficult because you have to build an army trying to assume and predict, and that's why these players are pros. They're doing their best to predict where they think the traps will be and try to react accordingly. And if it's not there, and if it's somewhere else, they're going to have to react on the fly, and they can do that. They're the pros. They know how to do it. That's what's going to determine who has a chance at moving on and who does not. But INTZ is going to be trying to go for that perfect. Banks, do you think we're going to see another perfect war here in the World Qualifiers?
That's what I was just thinking. Unfortunately, PSH from Hama did not manage to bring home a triple, which obviously means that INTZ are going to pull away with this one. But like Woody said earlier on in this matchup, you have INTZ, you've got Tribe Gaming, and you've got ATN.aTTaX. All three of those teams looking super dominant in this first qualifier. So that's what we're expecting to see. Those three teams up towards those final brackets to see who's going to get the chance to get that golden ticket through to the World Finals. But we have our final attack now from INTZ.
One single star enough to guarantee Marinal the victory. INTZ looking to make an easy hit here with those 3 Lava Hounds and 33 balloons. We'll strike first with those lightning spells. Keep an eye out where they get deployed. It's been a favorite to target onto that clan castle, so we'll see if that's where Marinal chooses to drop. No, instead he's going to go for the Archer Queen up top, knocking her down and getting that Eagle Artillery finished off as well. 2 big threats for an aerial raid that Marinal now does not have to deal with.
Yeah, so the big thing you can see why he didn't want to go for the Clan Castle is because the Queen. I believe there's a sweeper, the Eagle, the Scatter Shot, and he did take a poison spell. So since he has this poison spell in the army composition, that means he doesn't want to go for the Clan Castle. He needs to find a way to kill off that CC, and he's going all out for it. Marinal is like, I want to go and give INTZ the second perfect war in history here in the qualifiers, and he has a really good opportunity to do that. So now he has 3 Lava Hounds, 29 loons, and the biggest threat is going to be that Royal Champion on the top side. So as long as he can fly his way through and he has some balloons, the Stone Slammer, yep, gonna move there. And the reason why people have always asked me, Carbon, do you drop the Stone Slammer? Do you drop the Blimp? When do you drop it? Well, a Stone Slammer is a really good spot in here because there's no air defense. Since there's no air defense, a Stone Slammer kind of acts like a moving Lava Hound. And then it can kind of tank and get all the value through here. And then the Hounds will fly straight into the bottom air defense with the balloons behind. And look at this. The Stone Slammer set this funnel up here so the balloons can make their path right down towards 6 and up around the base.
I only saw 2 headhunters come out of that clan castle, so it looks like the rest of the troops that are sitting in there are going to be counterfeited. Miso not going to get to leverage that defensive boon since Marinal is instead swooping in with an all-air attack. Didn't have any more ground heroes even that are going to pull anything out of that CC. And with the drop there, gets the 2-star, guaranteeing INTZ the victory. They will be moving on to the playoffs, Carbon.
Yeah, the biggest threat is that Royal Champion, which I mentioned. He needs to rely on the lava pups that come from the Lava Hound to take that Royal Champion down. Uses the freeze spell beautifully so that the pups can overwhelm this Royal Champion. And let's see, can she go down? Her health is getting low. The Grand Warden's kind of helping these balloons. They're pushing their way through the top side. The Royal Champion is picking these pups off one by one as they're flying right by. And the Grand Warden, I think, might get targeted by this Royal Champion. And he does. But is it going to be enough here? Can Marinal get the perfect war?
He very well may have it. Knocks down the last remaining defenses, and he's got plenty of cleanup along the exterior. Finishes off the CC down the inside there, and I don't even really think that Royal Champion is going to cause much trouble. The rest of the troops are far away on the outside of the base and knocking down the remaining storages here. Just these little minions on the outside are going to be enough to finish off the elixir storages. Archers added on top, and there we go. INTZ with a perfect war. The Captain Marinal delivering the final blow against Hama and guaranteeing INTZ a spot in the history books.
Absolutely incredible performance we're seeing from these clans here in day 2. We saw 14 stars and a 99% from Tribe Gaming in the very first game. Now in game 2, the second game, we're seeing INTZ with a perfect war. But let's jump into Hama Yurek's attack. The final one coming in with one Super Witch involved with the Yeti Smash, sending in that blimp in right away to help take down that single target Inferno. Pulls out the Lava Hound, Inferno, Dragon, to set up this possible Queen Walk on the outside, because if you did a Grand Warden walk, it would be really difficult and takes forever to take the CC troops down. But you have to be very careful with the Inferno Dragon. As long as the Lava Hound doesn't go there first and the Queen gets stuck, the Queen should be able to take it out. But looking like the Lava Hound is going, oh, wait a second, it's going to be turn what the Queen is going to pick. She's stuck on the Hound, so he drops that Wizard, and now he's got the vest, a free spell potentially for the Inferno Dragon.
Inferno Dragon is burning that poor Queen up, forces out the ability from her, and with just a little bit of Wizard firepower to provide some coverage on the back end, that Queen has already lost a big chunk of her offensive capability. Still, she'll be cruising along the top side to support the rest of this attack. Healer's going to get her top back off for the main stage now. We've got a Super Witch with a big boy coming in over on the left side corner to provide some additional clearing power on the left lane to get that funnel accomplished. Nice jump spell will get all of these troops directly into the core of this base. Another one on the back end should be enough to get them through the back corner as well, but they're kind of starting to spread out a little bit. Top side is going to get complemented with the Archer Queen and a couple of Yetis out in front, but they're taking a lot of shots from that Archer Queen, while the bottom left side is where most of this force went. Bowlers and Yetis streaming through against that Eagle Artillery, demolishing it with an avalanche of boulders, but Archer Queen is taking too many shots. Can she stay alive?
The Queen charged her way through, but look at everything on the bottom side, Woody. It was just how unfortunate they did not go into the core. The King is going to slow this Queen down, does not have her ability because she was forced to pop that ability on the Inferno Dragon, which can be super strong as a defending clan castle if the Queen gets locked onto the Lava Hound, like that happened in this raid here. Does still have the Royal Champion to help use. I didn't see that he didn't deploy her yet. So this Queen's going to be able to take down the Scatter with no free spells anymore. It's going to come down to this Royal Champion. Is he going to be able to do it? Probably going to see that ground skeleton pop by. It needs to take that single target Inferno. That's the biggest threat left on this base.
Yeah, that Royal Champion ability is deadly. Uses it right there on the last remaining defenses. Tosses her spear off out of the last remaining cannon. She still has to finish off this Inferno. She doesn't get it. That could cause a lot of problems if this Archer Queen gets mispositioned, but it does look like she'll be able to break into that left side compartment. That should get her within range of the Inferno Tower. Can she get through it in time?
Oh my goodness.
Boom, it's down.
Wow, with 10 seconds left, but is he going to have the time? Is it going to be just the 97? Oh, how unfortunate. It's going to be a time failed 98% 2-star right there for Hama, for Yurek of Hama. And there you go. You're going to see a 15-11 victory for INTZ. Oh my goodness, a perfect war. It's just an incredible sight to see.
What an amazing sight to see. Exactly what you just said, Carbon. What an incredible match. We've had, first match, we had a 99% average from Tribe Gaming, and now we've just got 100%. average from INTZ. Those defenses looking to just be too much for Hama to overcome. So Hama will be going down into the deciders bracket even of Group B, and they will be going up against Darkest MuZhan. That is set to be an incredible matchup that's going to be later on today. So first, I would like to throw you over to Jojo, who's going to break down the match.
Another perfect war. We knew that we were going to have a fantastic qualifiers. INTZ seen ATN.aTTaX do it, and they wanted to do it themselves. Starting out with the Zap Quake method. We talked about this yesterday, but he takes out the clan castle, the air sweeper very importantly. And although the scatter shot is still active, the Royal Champion will be able to finish that off. Selenho in this attack recognizes that the one sweeper pointing to the right-hand side of the base will mean his Lalo will come in behind that. But the Royal Champion will take it anyway. She can take down a number of buildings with her Seeking Shield. And this is where the Sui hero in combination with the lightning spells works very well. So the King and Queen push into one area, meanwhile the Royal Champion sneaks across the other side. This means they can split and take down a number of defenses. He does end up using the freeze spell, as was mentioned, onto the single. It is important to make sure that you do not lose your hero, so he's far better to use that, but the Royal Champion takes down the Eagle and the Scattershot. Meanwhile, the Queen gets the Town Hall. So if we look at the pathing now, into the top of the base, it is incredible for the Lalo. We only have the scatter shot and the multi, and as Carbon mentioned in the last attack by Marinal, starts with the Stone Slammer. This is really important because if he sent a Lava Hound, it would come all of the way to the air defense and leave the balloons vulnerable. So you have to start with that Stone Slammer, in order to do that, and then couples with the Lava Hounds. Quickly following in with the balloons from each and every angle when they are protected. And we mentioned the Headhunter. Carbon mentioned this. He could have potentially snuck it right of the way across the map to use the Grand Warden's ability because they only target the heroes. It would run directly towards the Archer Queen, but it doesn't matter. He got so much value initially, pathing the Lalo incredibly well with only a couple of defenses remaining. And as we always talk about, the haste and the freeze then used for the splash damage. INTZ go into the history books alongside ATN.aTTaX. I cannot wait to see them in action tomorrow. We know they will be joining Tribe Gaming. We now need to find out the other two teams, and we will find out a little bit more about the players right now.
Have you ever played Clash of Clans in any unusual places?
不寻常的地方，厕所。
휴가 가서 해본 적도 있습니다.
So the disabled toilets at work when you got to get a war attack in?
Airplane.
I was attacking on the street and in a really important war.
I think the coolest place where I played ever Clash of Clans was in the tower in Tokyo.
Ultimamente não, eu só jogo em casa mesmo.
I'm military, so I've played it all around the world.
What is your biggest accomplishment as a Clash of Clans player?
我是世界冠军 MVP.
Finishing off Town Hall 13 Cup with a triple to make it to the round of 16.
We are the 3-time champions in the Finnish Clash, which is a trophy pushing contest.
Fourth place with Tribe Gaming last year in 2019.
Qualifying as first team last year for the first World Championship.
You know, attending this event, I mean, this is one of the things that I will always have on my shoulder as an accolade of success.
Barbarian King, Archer Queen, Grand Warden or Royal Champion?
飞盾战神.
Archer Queen을 선택할게요.
Archer Queen all day. She's too beautiful.
The Archer Queen.
Royal Champion.
Grand Warden.
Archer Queen.
Royal Champion.
We just heard Panadol discussing what his Clash of Clans accomplishments have been, and I believe that this will be definitely up there if Resistance manage to take out ATN.aTTaX in this stage of the tournament. So, Carbon, who's looking dangerous from ATN.aTTaX?
Well, alternate attacks can be anybody, but we actually have the very next attack, and I would say Linade is someone to keep your eye on, because Boom has actually said he thinks Linade is one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, and Linade's coming in with that hybrid, does have one headhunter, pulls out that clan castle, which has a headhunter there, slowing it down to take it, and out comes the lava hound as well. Woody, he needs to get some really nice value, and I know Linade is trying to charge potentially this queen, maybe towards this town hall, because he doesn't have any wall breakers.
Yeah, he's going to have to force his way through the old-fashioned style. He's got that sneaky goblin instead of those big super wall breakers, so that's his big attempt here on the bottom corner. Alternate attacks is just like INTZ in their hit rate. They both have got an 80% hit rate, having scored a perfect war yesterday. Alternate attacks have got a great chance at moving on through this bracket, but not if Resistance has got anything to say about it. Linade is one of the stars of this attack squad. He got a 94% in his first war and backed it up with the triple to move on in this lower bracket. Healed up Queen with a rage spell on top of her. It's going to be enough to finish off the remaining buildings in the bottom here. She's pathing toward the outside, but once she finishes off these buildings, she should get back into the range of the town hall soon. Linade's going to start the main phase of his attack right now.
Yeah, the Queen's going to be able to help walk down this alley, take down this town hall. Look at this. She can take out the town hall, the bomb tower. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3 expos here. The Grand Warden, so much value from this Queen charge right down the alley of this base. Pops that Warden ability right there in the middle. Beautiful job. Finally pops the Queen ability to protect these healers. And yes, he does. And he's charging his way through with another rage on the backside. The Hogs are finally coming out of the siege barracks to help assist in this raid, Woody.
Healers take a lot of punishment, but the Archer Queen ability gives her just enough DPS to handle that town hall and keep on trucking. Hog Riders get a free spell to boost their survivability up top, even though they soak a big old giant bomb. I think they've done just enough of their job to make it all the way through. Grand Warden supporting the rest of the miners out on the bottom side of the base, and even a couple of balloons coming in for Linade to help clean up the rest here. Still has that Royal Champion ability, and he'll use that shield on those trash buildings up top. This is clear and away, an easy 3-star for your alternate attack squad. Linade is the guy with the triple.
Absolutely beautiful attack right there coming in for Linade of alternate attacks. Remember, this is an elimination match, so the loser is completely out of the competition. And I believe the winner of this will be taking on INTZ in the playoffs. So this is everything on the line, because alternate attacks, they do not want to go out here. They came in with a perfect war in their very last war to get here to move on. And now we're going to see Benji of Resistance coming in with the Zap Lalo.
You're right about that, Carbon. When life gives you lemons, alternate attacks makes Linade get the 3 stars. They may be in the lower bracket, but they've got just as much of a chance as long as they can win this war right here to move on to the playoffs. But not if Benji from Resistance has got anything to say about it. Benji scored a 78% and then an 89% in his 2 wars, so we've yet to see that triple from him so far. He got a beautiful lightning strike early on in this raid, though, but he's a little bit low on spell in his arsenal. He's just got 1 freeze, a couple of haste, and 1 rage to back up this Laloon push, moving in with a double Lava Hound here, but giving some additional support to the Sui hero dive in the bottom left corner. Unfortunately, this Archer Queen has taken a big punishing blow from the scatter shots and multi-target infernos over there. I don't know how much farther she can go, but they've done a good job already knocking down quite a few defenses. Still have that air defense in that left side compartment, though, and that could cause troubles later on in the raid.
Yeah, he did get a lot of value. The enemy queen is down, so the biggest threat is going to be the Royal Champion. Pops the ability early here, and he's going to Lalo from the bottom side here. He's got some balloons to go in for this Wizard Tower. So I really like these delayed balloons that were over to the left of the cannon. They should path to the Wizard Tower after the Archer Tower goes down. There they go. A few do make it up there. And here
oh my god!
Oh, he lost a bunch of balloons from that scatter shot. Now it finally locks on the Lava Hound here. Can he take it down? Still holding on to the Stone Slammer. He's going to push his way up to the Town Hall. But this is actually looking really strong. I'm liking this attack so far, as long as they keep this momentum moving.
That first Lava Hound pulled 4 Seeking Air Mines. Knew exactly where the Laloon was going to be coming in from. Still, all 4 going on 1 meant that other one still had a lot of hit points left to provide some additional pushing here, and those balloons are looking very healthy. Grand Warden Eternal Tome protecting nearly all of them as they path over the Town Hall, knocking it down, and there's not much air resistance left at this point, Carmen Finn. An entire minute for Benji to clean up the rest of the space and wipe it off the map, even as a dragon to breathe some fire down their bellies.
Absolutely beautiful attack right there. It was a perfect lightning in the core to help completely take that down and made a beautiful funnel right around the space. Granted, the enemy world champion is still up, so he's got to find one way to take her down. Doesn't have any more troops to drop. He does have a ton of balloons here. As long as he takes that world champion platform down, he does not have to take out the world champion because she can stay up. You need to destroy all the buildings. You don't have to take out all the heroes.
These troops are pretty slow, and there's actually not very many up on the top side of the base. I think that should be enough to clear out the trash buildings over there. But yeah, I'm worried that this Royal Champion is going to distract all these troops. They're firing away at her, but this is not yet guaranteed. 5 seconds left, though. With her going down, that's going to be all Benji needs. 3 stars in the bag, and ensures that Resistance will keep pace against alternate attacks.
Resistance going up against alternate attacks with their own triple, evening out the playing field, and we're going to have to see what is going to happen a little bit later on. But let's take a really quick look at Benji's replay here, Carbon.
Yeah, he was perfect Warden Eternal Tome with that rage over the Town Hall. Absolutely gorgeous to move his way around. Granted, that Lava Hound found so many traps that moved its way through, but it was a beautiful. Once you take out that initial section with the Zap Lightning and then with your heroes, you just want to continue to fly around in either a clockwise or counterclockwise. I've seen so many people drop Lava Hounds all over the place, but no, you just got to be like an arrow moving around the base. And here we go with another Zap Lalo. There's the lightning. Bam, it does take the scatter shot. Get ready for the 2 more. Oh, and he uses it on the other side, help take down that sweeper. Absolutely incredible. The value with this, they just come up with so many amazing attack strategies here.
Yeah, wiping out that CC is going to remove a big threat on the map. Jojo has got 2 headhunters in this army to help deal with that Archer Queen on the back end. She can present a big threat, but not if the headhunters have got any cushion for their attack out in front. Looks like that Barbarian King is going to clear some pathway on the right side, taking a few shots, but not really too worried about him. He's just kind of a throwaway at this point. Jojo using the main force of his Archer Queen to knock down this Town Hall early on so that he can focus on the aerial attack for the rest of the raid. I still see 3 air defenses on the bottom and 1 up top that the Archer Queen's probably going to be able to take down. So it's a good guess as to where they're going to be starting, but with them both now kind of concentrated over on the left side, that Royal Champion getting the stab out at that right corner air defense, Jojo's got a really concentrated path that he can send these balloons down over on the bottom right.
And the Royal Champion does not take out the single target in front of, but is going to use 1 potential balloon to take it out. Can it do it? He's going to fly down south and around. The single does go down from that 1 balloon. Unbelievable. Drops the haste. The scatter is going to lock onto some of these balloons as he moves through. Get ready for the Grand War Eternal Tome. Wait for it. Is he going to try to hang on for as late as possible? There's the rage and pops it through the rage spell as they're moving up and around. The Stone Slammer is still standing. Sends the balloon over to the right by the cannon and the bomb tower to start clearing that area, or at least a few balloons, so they don't have to backtrack. A great identification in from Yo-Yo, but watch out, the Royal Champion is still alive.
Yeah, she took a lot of shots from those raged up lava pups, but look at that. That Grand Warden still in range means that she is going to take him down. Stone Slammer very healthy, though. It might actually play out not to Yodo's benefit if that Stone Slammer survives. There's a lot of troops inside that could help with the cleanup, but nevertheless, with just about a minute left, it's looking like he's got a really strong strike that's going to continue pathing through the rest of the space. 92% overall damage, and still does not have to kill that Royal Champion since her platform, it looks like, has already been destroyed. As long as the troops can make it around her, they'll be just fine. Seems like she's got no way to get in range to defend this last remaining elixir storage. And Jojo is going to keep the pressure up. The triple has been once again delivered by our alternate attacks team, taking down the Barbarian King and putting up another 3-star there. Great job there to Jojo.
Yeah, neither one of these teams wants to be eliminated here, coming with 3-star after 3-star after 3-star. It's really going to come down to 13, 14-star war. Is it potential for perfect? I don't know. I don't want to say it now. Doubt it. It would be unbelievable to see that, but just the 3 stars and beautiful attacks coming in from both sides. And Yo-Yo showing you can use the lightning on one side to help take out the scatter shot, and then you can use the lightning on the other side to help additional damage to the clan castle and take out the other sweeper. So we SE Lalo'd around. There was no sweepers to push him back. Absolutely gorgeous attack.
Yeah, that replay really shows Jojo's excellent planning there. He used a rage spell in what I thought at first might be in a bit of an iffy position away from the bulk of that raid. The Stone Slammer up top still looking very healthy. And of course he could choose to pop it anytime he wants, but if you run low on time, you might find yourself in a difficult spot. Still, he took plenty of chances to make sure that his troops were well positioned toward the end there and actually had a lot of time left over. So Jojo's attack facing very little resistance, if you'll pardon the pun, and showing up once again for alternate attacks, giving them 6 stars to lead off with.
Yeah, it's just been incredible to see all these 3 stars, these high score wars, and that's what all the viewers love to see. They're seeing these strategies coming in to show everybody how to get the triples and how they can do it at home in their wars to help their clans. And it looks like we have the very next attack that is going in, and it's going to be Atomic T. He's going in with the Yeti Smash for resistance, trying to take out Volley, starting with that Grand Warden down south at 6. Biggest threat is time with these Warden walks, but to get around time, he's using these sneaky goblins to help take down these storages and to charge this Grand Warden straight in to that town hall.
Grand Warden's got really long range and can give a lot of firepower early on in the raid in a way that the Archer Queen can't necessarily do in the same way. Raged up, he's going to stay nice and topped off thanks to those healers right behind him. Atomic T is going to be moving in with that Yeti Smash strategy, taking out the bats and favoring the jump spells instead. Necessary to do that when you have so many little tiny compartments like the ones that Volley has set up in this base. Lots of walls concentrated on the bottom side of the base, trying to deny access to the core where you see that Eagle Artillery set up, a clan castle a little bit far away, and an Archer Queen also kind of a little bit far away, off positioned, just to make sure that it's not possible to use lightning strikes and take down 2 big targets at the same time.
Yeah, Woody, I wonder if you noticed there's this really interesting thing about this base. If you take a close look at the walls. I wonder how many hours he spent to alternate every single one of these walls to make it really confusing on the eye of the attacker as you're gonna charge your way through. I mean, this would have taken me hours to just place these walls side by side. Just incredible patience from Volley how he did this.
Never underestimate a man who will do that much to keep his base in tip-top shape. Atomic T still is going to give him a run for his money, though. Charging in over in the bottom right corner, knocking down the Eagle Artillery. Facing some good resistance, though, from these CC troops. Hasn't yet engaged the Air Queen. There she goes, pulling on in and firing away. She's hopped over the wall, though, so that should give those Yetis a good chance to stab her down. Tornado Trap is going to slow them down, though, and Atomic T is having a lot of trouble making his way out of the core of this base. Drops another jump spell, but that Barbarian King, healthy on the backside, is going to start stabbing away at his Royal Champion. Fires away and finishes her just about off, forcing out that ability from her, and a free spell as well. Atomic T has dealt a huge blow to this base, but is really running low on troops now, and it's going to rely on this one last healer to try to top off the rest of his forces. She is going down to that air defense, though, and there's still a lot on the back end of this base. Atomic T might not have it in him, Carbon.
Yeah, he's got the Royal Champion pushing her way right around. He doesn't have her ability, had to use it early, and unfortunately, we're going to see our first fail of this war here. Does have one freeze to use, should pop this Queen ability relatively early. There he goes, because he realizes he doesn't have the time, so he's going to try to get as many buildings as possible. Drop that freeze on the Tesla. Oh no! That could have been another percentage point. I don't know why he didn't drop it there. Oh, man, he could have potentially got that down. And who knows if it comes down to percent, because every single building does matter in these raids. And there it is, the swag freeze, unfortunately. But there, Atomic T coming in for resistance. Banks, that's our first fail of this war that we saw.
Indeed it is. Atomic T, unfortunately, being the first player to drop a star in this war. And alternate attacks are looking to basically carry on this momentum that they had from their previous war and possibly even do another perfect one. Let's have a quick look at this replay, Woody.
Take a look at the main charge into this base. A ton of firepower being dropped by that Eagle artillery, and Atomic T takes it down as quickly as he can, but had to use that Grand Warden Eternal Tome relatively early on before most of the defensive buildings were firing away at his troops. That left him high and dry on the backside of the base and without enough firepower to finish off that last side. But we're already hopping into our next attack. It's going to be coming in from Volley. Volley from ATN.aTTaX whiffed on his first war with only a 68% 2-star, but came back in style in that second one, grabbing that 100% and keeping ATN.aTTaX in that perfect war category. He's trying to do it once again against this base, bringing in 2 Lava Hounds and 24 balloons to back up this big aerial assault. Already dropped the lightnings and earthquakes early on. We're going to zoom in on the bottom side of this base now for the next stage. Carbon, what are we looking at?
We're seeing the Queen come in after the zap was used on the clan castle, and he used a super wall breaker, which he knew which was gonna oh wait, the Queen, oh no, I was gonna say he knew that the super wall breaker was gonna die so it can open the outside walls. He timed it perfectly, but the Queen's going the wrong way. Queen, go back to the town hall. This is gonna be a huge problem. He's gonna have to adapt, and if this doesn't 3-star, it's gonna have keep resistance into the game, because resistance got that 2-star here, but the Royal Champion is now going to be used, and she's going to help take out the sweeper, the scatter shot that's right behind it, because remember, she will not target that town hall unless it's activated.
Yeah, no way to get easy damage on that town hall. Volley does have a battle blimp in his arsenal, which of course goes straight for the town hall, so that should be an easy way to guarantee that he gets that star. But instead he's going to go for the stone slammer. He thinks that he can get that overall damage above the 51% mark. That's when that town hall is going to activate. Actually, it's from the splash damage instead, so that'll be enough to get it in the game. Volley's going to wipe it out and will continue through the rest of this raid relatively unscathed. Here he goes with the Grand Warden, the Lava Hounds, and the balloons streaming in on that left side corner. Archer Queen is putting up a lot of resistance here for Volley, though, forcing out those headhunters. They're finally going to take it down, but that's been a lot of damage already. Sends in the Eternal Tome and the haste spells right on top to move all the way to the top compartment as fast as he possibly can. This is going to be a blitz of an attack, Carbon.
Absolutely beautiful Grand Warden Eternal Tome there. The biggest threat now is that Raw Champion, and he has a few spells still left. He's got oh wait, he's got, the warding goes down. That's going to be devastating there. He's got one haste left and 2 balloons, and the balloon's trying to move his way. And look at all these red air bombs in the core of that base that did so much work. But imagine if he was able to get that Queen to get the town hall. It could have been devastating here, but he still is going to add more percentage for alternate attacks here, and resistance is going to be down quite a bit on the percentage game and the triple game as well. So Volley still going to be up in the high 80s, closing in on the 90% here, Woody.
Yeah, at this point, ATN.aTTaX has got a big lead. They just need to hold on to it. Not a triple this time, but they do have a star advantage. So even if Resistance puts a triple up on the board next time, this really high percentage 2-star from Volley is going to prevent them from getting over that hurdle just with one attack alone. So nice job there. We see 8 stars total from ATN.aTTaX and a 91% 2-star strike from Volley.
Yeah, unfortunately was not able to do it. The biggest thing was the funneling. Funneling 101, which the Queen walked over to the right side. He thought he set enough of a funnel, and those buildings pulled the Queen there, because you see, if the town hall went down, then what would have happened? He would have dropped the stone slammer in a different spot, would have been able to help maybe take out the Queen a little bit earlier, or the Raw Champion, and he would have been able to keep that momentum moving through the base. Very nice effort there. It's just, we're seeing so much of this zap Lalo, the lightning spell, I think might be like one of the most used attacks into this qualifiers, Woody.
These bases are like a really intricate layer of dominoes that you have to knock each one down before you can move on to the next target. Yeah, the fact that he couldn't get the town hall early on with the Archer Queen resulted in, I think, eventually the Royal Champion killing his Grand Warden in kind of a roundabout way, not having enough tanking out in front to protect him, and not enough troops as well to fire down on that Royal Champion in time. But nevertheless, gonna keep pace here for ATN.aTTaX. It's up to Trento now to try to redeem his team. Trento, as we saw earlier on in this War Series, got a 53%, barely pulling off the 2-star on day number 1, but then came back with a 77% 2-star in day 2. So we're really looking to get a triple from him. I mean, his name is Trento, so you'd expect to see the 3 coming in, but nonetheless, We've got a ground-based army for him this time and a siege barracks to back up this big, heavy-handed push, pulling out the CC, which has got a couple of headhunters in there, using that Grand Warden Eternal Tome pretty early here. He knocks down this Town Hall just in time and looks to be safe to continue this push through the top of the base.
Yeah, the biggest threat was that single target Inferno, which locked onto the Queen as she walked by, which then forced her ability way too early. And look at these Yetis are walking around the outside of the space. Yetis actually came out of the siege barracks, so they're going to try to join up in the middle of the space, but they're so late to joining up. The Royal Champion has died off, and it's just going to be the 2-star here with no kind of troops or the Royal Champion moving towards the bottom side. Queen doesn't have her ability anymore. That King is looking like the enemy King is going to go down, trying to keep that Queen alive, but we do have a single target in front on the backside. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough to push his way through. These Yetis, especially that single target in front, will do some massive work.
Yeah, pretty aggressive rage spell drop there. All of his healers and the Queen were still in the previous rage spell, so I think he was really worried about losing his Queen early on there. He's not going to get the 3-star from this push, but it does look like he's got a lot of firepower left to dump in on this base. Might have been able to leverage that rage spell later on, about now, if he had gotten those Yetis out in front to protect the Queen, but with her going down, it looks like Trento is going to pass the 70% mark thanks to a little bit of cleanup on the outer edge of the space. It's got one more archer to try to place somewhere in this space to try to get a few more buildings down, but denied the 3-star once again. Defense from Jojo is going to be plenty to get through. Wow, actually the Yeti might take down that Inferno Tower after all. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, he was able to do it, but very nice try. Banks, we're seeing some of these attacks, and it's just alternate attacks is just laying down the triples, laying down the high percentage, and it's looking really good for them.
They are indeed. Unfortunately, Trento coming in with one of the lowest percentage scores that we've seen today as well. But we are yet to mention that Resistance still have their top 2 players to go. We have TK and Panadol still waiting in the wings to come in and hopefully give Resistance those both triples, to be honest. But Trento's replay right here, Woody, what are we seeing?
We're seeing a ton of firepower coming out on this raid early on. Trento goes in with boulders and Yetis, which really don't like being forced back by an Eagle artillery that early on. He had to drop that Grand Warden Eternal Tome super early in the raid, and as Carbon also mentioned, had to use the Archer Queen Royal Cloak ability to deny the Inferno Tower the opportunity to burn her up. So with using so much of his offensive kit early on, that left him without any way of protecting them at the second stage of that raid.
Yeah, we're going to see this attack from Boom coming in with the Zap Lalo. I'm loving to see what he's going to try to get the value with. We got... I'm looking to see if he has a poison spell, so no poison spell. Does that mean he's going for the clan castle here? Yes, he is going for the clan castle. Takes out the sweeper, takes out an expo, and down goes the CC right there. So now he still has the Eagle artillery. It looks like he's going to sweep into the Eagle artillery, and he doesn't have any wall breakers. Oh, he's going to use the wall wrecker to charge and get a tremendous amount of value. Let's see if he can get to the Eagle, the Royal Champion, and potentially enemy Queen. Because if he's using the wall wrecker, he has to get both of the heroes that target the balloons, which would be the Queen and the Royal Champion.
Yeah, this is a really high-risk, high-reward type of strategy here from Boom. Has already knocked down the Royal Champion, who is relatively far outside of this base, but it looks like the defending Archer Queen will engage these attackers now, and she's over the wall. That means that even the P.E.K.K.A can engage her now, as it's going to start to move through the rest of the space. Oh, the Queen just ignored them. Hops back over the wall, and now the P.E.K.K.A is not going to have access to her. Royal Champion from Boom is going to have to throw that shield to try to keep up a little bit longer, but the Inferno Tower burns her up, and Boom's in a bit of a tricky spot here. Gets the value that he needs out of this Hero Sui dive into the top right corner, but can he follow it up with just as good of a push with this Laloon hit?
It's like he took down half this base already. The biggest threat we have are the scatter shots and the town hall left on the base. The scatter shot, once the balloon makes it in, will not be able to target that anymore, so very nice. And I really love how Boom dropped the balloons kind of staggered so they all wouldn't get hit. Drops the freeze, grabs the town hall, the expo, the Grand Warden altar. Get ready for the Grand Warden turtle, pops it perfectly through the haste now to push them through. Finds a bunch of red air bombs. There is a tornado trap. Biggest threat is this scatter shot. He does use the freeze to freeze it off with 2 more haste spells. This is looking really strong. He needs to drop the next one there.
Haste on him!
There it goes. Can he push his way through?
Yes, he can! Boom, making his way to the backside of the base. Only has one more wizard tower to worry about, but had plenty of balloons left in tow to finish off the remainder of these defenses. Over a minute for cleanup, and boom, from ATN.aTTaX has done it. Another 3-star will put them at 11 total, dragging Resistance through the mud and making it really difficult for them to pull off a comeback at this point. ATN.aTTaX seems cleared for landing on their way to the playoffs.
Yeah, ATN.aTTaX coming in with another 3-star from Boom, showing you how you can do that zap Lalo. We're seeing it everywhere here in the qualifiers, which means it's strong. These are the professional bases. Granted, they didn't have the most time to kind of build and kind of find out the meta for defensive-wise, but the lightning spell gets so much value. Didn't get the eagle, which then he was able to send the queen and the whole Sui value into the artillery. Got both of those heroes and then Warden abilities over the town hall. Perfect execution, got it done, and now Resistance is looking to put up another 3-star. Can they do it here? And we have Panadol coming in with the hybrid, and he is using the power potion and hero potions. He's like, we need this 3-star, and he's using it, and he's trying to get it now, Woody.
Hybrid army that's a bit heavier focused on the miners this time. Going to be charging it with 7 balloons as well. A bit of an atypical choice here from Panadol, but I guess he figures he can find some relatively undefended buildings up on the left corner here. Going to use a wizard to provide some additional funneling here. Remember, those miners really want to be right next to that hog army in lockstep, supporting them in their push through the base. So the funneling with these wizards out on the left side is what's going to help accomplish that. Early queen ability, though, is not a good look at all for Panadol, having to drop it along with a raid spell on the outside. That's going to be a big drop early on in this raid, Carbon.
Yeah, the queen's going to have to deal with this lava hound here.
Oh my god, the queen goes down! That is catastrophe! Resistance is going to be futile in this attack. Panadol doing his best to salvage this raid, but I don't think there's any way a 3-star is possible at this point.
No, not with that. Watch him drop the Grand Warden and potentially whatever the Royal Champion, and that Headhunter's going to go straight for them. There is the Warden. The Headhunter's locked eyes on the Warden, and he's not going to go off. The only way is for these miners or the Royal Champion, but the Royal Champion's going to get stuck on the Hound, and watch out, that Headhunter is doing work, and the Grand Warden has to pop the ability here. Oh, he drops the Wizard, but not going to be able to keep up. It's going to jump over the wall. Oh, can he take it down? Unfortunately, the Warden's going down so quick, finally, but look how much health the Warden has. Oh, those Headhunters, if you don't deal with it properly, can do massive work to your heroes.
Panadol painting a picture for us, but this masterpiece has got too few viewers. Linnade's defenses are just too overpowering to give Panadol even the chance of cracking through. Barely able to get the 2-star on the board, passing the 53% mark now with just a smattering of troops left around the edges here. Resistance has got no chance to make the comeback happen at this point. The 2-star will bring them up to the 9-star count total. Nice effort here to Panadol, but man, things just did not go his way early on in the raid, and without any swap from those healers back to the rest of the troops up on top, that hybrid army was just ill-equipped to handle the rest of the defenses. That Eagle artillery was a crucial target for the Queen in her early charge, but with it still standing up, Panadol had no way to finish off the rest of this base.
Unfortunately, that 57% 2-star from Panadol really does put them too far behind ATN.aTTaX. Something majorly drastic has to happen, and I don't even think it's salvageable at this point. Like you mentioned before, Woody, as well, high risk equals high reward, and I think that ATN.aTTaX have that confidence boost from yesterday, slipping down into the losers bracket, but then fighting back with a perfect war. So right now, they are just set to cruise control and are absolutely bombarding their way through these bases. And now we're going to see the last attack from ATN.aTTaX, and it is Ast.
Yeah, and Ash is coming in with the Zap Lalo again, getting so much value, drops it, takes out the Inferno Tower Sweeper, the Clan Castle, and he's going to try to help get a ton of value with his heroes here. He's going to move in. The King is helping charge in. Maybe he's going to move to the Wizard Tower and move all the way up around. The Wizard Tower does find a Taslet right here. Could change the King pathing, but the Queen is going to be stepping up with the Royal Champion going another layer behind. Queen should go back around for this air. Oh, wait a second. Where's she going to go now? Uh-oh. Oh, no, I think that Royal Champion ability got too much stuff there because he wanted the Queen to come back and then go for the Town Hall. Uh-oh, now he's going to have to change the plan on the fly because there were some openings in the wall that he thought the Queen might have been able to go into.
Tricky start here against Trento's base. Ast, along with Boom and Jojo, is one of the few players in this tournament to have consistently 3-starred the opponents that he's gone up against. Suing this Archer Queen up in the top corner now has missed the Town Hall, but still has another way of going for it. Sends in a couple of balloons to drag out that Seeking Airmine and will drop a Stone Slammer to add on top of it. That's going to be enough to grab the first star and ensure that alternate attacks will be on path to get that double. Once they get 2 stars, they will be out of reach for resistance and will be guaranteed to move on to the playoffs.
Oh. That warning ability, unfortunately, did not cover all these balloons here. The Town Hall should be going down, but I really did like how he used the mini to activate the Town Hall so that the Stone Slammer would be able to target it. And now he's moving these balloons around. At this point, no more spells to use. He's just looking to try to overwhelm it. The enemy Queen is still standing, and he knows this is not going to be a 3-star because of the defense is remaining. Very nice try from Ash, but that Royal Champion, unfortunately, her ability, taking down that air defense, rerouted the Queen the wrong way. And I just, once I saw that, I was like, oh no, he just didn't expect that was going to happen.
Look, this attack might not have ended in the crescendo that alternate attacks could have finished off with, but nevertheless, it got the job done. The 2-star up on board will put alternate attacks out of range of their opponents, and they will walk away victorious over resistance, moving on to the playoffs. Congratulations to that team, joining Tribe Gaming in that top spot later on.
Yep, we're going to be seeing alternate attacks taking on INTZ in the, which will be the playoffs, which will be tomorrow, but we're still going to see one more attack from Resistance. They do want to come in. Ass is wrapping this one up, drops the Wizard down south, and down he goes, unfortunately, and it's just going to be the 2-star there, so they're going to finish with 13 stars. I mean, coming with 13 right after a perfect war, so obviously, unless you get a perfect war, the next war after is going to be a little bit of a downer from that, but still, 13 stars is a great performance and enough to push them forward. But we're jumping into the final attack from Resistance here, going up against Boom's base, and he indeed is also going to be using the Zap Lalo, Woody.
Fires away at that clan castle early on and takes it down. Gets a big hit against that left side scatter shot as well. Finished off one on the right side. So he's taken out a lot of key targets with those spells early on. Has got 3 haste spells and 2 freeze to keep the pressure up. He's going to use that Baby Dragon raged up without any other air troops next to it to get some more funneling done on the top right side where he'll start his main attack. Those heroes are going to be making a Sui dive into this base now. That freeze spell is going to shut down the enemy Royal Champion who's blocked now. She's accessible by the King though, so he's going to be able to pulverize her with just a couple of shots. Enemy Archer Queen is looking interested in what's going on over there, but hasn't yet been pulled over. If TK can grab this Eagle Artillery and the enemy Archer Queen, he'll have an amazing stab in this base early on.
Absolutely, the Queen pops her ability, takes down the enemy Queen.
Whoa!
Wow, look at that value TK got right there. Now he can Lalo. He's going to Lalo right over the Town Hall here. Still has a Stone Slammer. And he doesn't have to, he can drop the Stone Slammer anywhere he pretty much wants out of his base. He should be able to get to the 51% by the time he gets anywhere near this Town Hall. This is looking absolutely beautiful for a Zap Lalo attack here.
What a glorious setup from TK. The MVP on this Resistance squad is not disappointing fans with this 3-star attempt. Awesome, great job with that Grand Warden Eternal Tome, protecting all of the balloons, even as they were getting spun up in that tornado trap. They are still on a path to victory. Last Lava Hound's going to pop there, but there are not many defenses left. Just a little bit of a Tesla farm out on the top left side of the space. But goodness gracious, what a beautiful balloon parade to finish things off in this last war.
Absolutely gorgeous attack. Got so much value. Granted, Resistance is not going to have enough to win this war. They just still put on an amazing show. Really great performance from Resistance here in the qualifiers. Going up against some amazing competition. It's just They faced Tribe Gaming earlier today, and then ATN.aTTaX. I mean, anybody taking on those clans, and the Resistance still put up a respectable, really great numbers there. Unfortunately, they're going to fall short in this war. Still, hats off to TK right there in the final attack.
TK putting up a very impressive performance right at the end there, but unfortunately, like you said, Carbon, Resistance are not going to be able to go any further. They are going to have to pack their bags and leave this qualifier, whereas ATN.aTTaX continued that momentum from yesterday and are going to be moving on to the semi-finals tomorrow. Now, who they're going to go up against, we're not sure, because it's going to be between Hama and Darkest MuZhan later on. But look at this Group A right now. How stacked is that? Tribe Gaming and ATN.aTTaX. I cannot believe this. This is going to be absolutely superb. So I'm going to throw you over to my favorite Brit and the expert. It is, of course, Judo Sloth at the Telestrator.
Thank you so much, Banks. I wanted to break down this fantastic attack by Lalo 23. We have seen the lightning spell used quite often. 5 in this instance to get the clan castle damaged and the scatter shot, then alternate where the lightning was used to get the second sweeper. Top level play. Always consider where you are putting the lightning spells. Alongside the clan castle, it's only the Eagle Artillery that requires 7. Once we have the inner part of the base down, we set the funnel very nicely with a couple of troops for either side of the push. Sends the queen in towards the town hall. I love the use of that ice golem in order to tank as well. Meanwhile, the king takes out the defenses around the outside to allow the royal champion to directly target the single target Inferno Tower. Now, we talk about pathing a lot, don't we? But the top area of the base is down, which will then allow the Lalo to come through. But let's take a look at the royal champion. Does get targeted by this single, has to use a freeze. Now, what you can sometimes do in this situation is take a lightning, because the rework to the lightning will indeed reset the single, and it also will take out the ground skellies, but it is sometimes difficult if you don't know what is in that area. However, moving to the lava loon portion, we do see the Stone Slammer leading the pack, as we so often talk about. The Lava Hounds getting into the Eagle Artillery early, and the Grand Warden's ability is so clutch here. Whenever your balloons are about to split and go in different directions, you have to try and use that ability in order to catch as many of them as possible. Again, we talk about the spells. The haste and the freeze are the best ones to use in combination with the lightning, because you've used so many spells initially. You need to use the smaller spell space ones for the lava loon. Lalo 23 getting the job done, and we've seen so many amazing attacks. What I think is interesting is that ATN.aTTaX and Tribe Gaming was the first matchup that we seen yesterday, and it could still happen to be the final and the final matchup of this qualifier. Super exciting, well done to them, but let's find out a little bit more about our players before the final matchup of today.
What is the strategy that you hate playing against the most?
暴力狗球
일렉 드래곤 버스를 싫어합니다.
Absolutely hate Yeti spam.
Bats.
Right now, the super witches.
Queen Walk.
Lalo.
If you could say just one sentence to all of your opponents, what would you say?
祝你们好运
같이 월드 챔피언십을 즐겨봅시다.
Good luck. Send us your bank accounts and I can send you some of the prize money.
Good luck. Let's make this a good one.
Please don't attack with super witches and fail on our bases, please.
Good luck and have fun, but we're going to win.
Estamos bem preparados para essa competição e espero que vocês também estejam.
I'll see you behind.
Ah, nice. I like it. Quietly confident. That's cool.
I'll just have to really quickly correct myself there, because ATN.aTTaX are going to be going up against INTZ tomorrow in the semi-final. And this next matchup that we've got, Whoever wins between Darkest MuZhan and Hama is going to be going up against Tribe Gaming in tomorrow's semi-final. So, Darkest MuZhan, we have those two powerhouse players, UZP and Wei, going up against this really, really good squad. Hama, unfortunately, being defeated earlier today by INTZ with an absolutely perfect score against them, 5 triples. Carbon, how do you think Darkest MuZhan are going to fare against Hama?
Oh, Darkest MuZhan can take on anybody. It's just going to really come down to if they're willing to take the risk. I've repeated this whole qualifiers here today. We've seen some of the players, especially we saw from earlier where Itsu ended on a town hall. It was super risky, but it ended up paying off there. And we're going to have to see if Hama or Darkest MuZhan can do that here because they're both up against elimination and only the loser will be going home. So we'll have to see which one is able to do it.
Yes, indeed. Darkest MuZhan managed to close out their final match yesterday with a triple, managing to come in clutch and then pushing forward into the next round being today. Now, I wonder if their experience is going to top this because we are getting towards the later stages of the competition. Tomorrow is Championship Sunday, going to make them that one step closer to that $1 million prize pool. And I think that the experience of Wei and UZP are really going to dominate in this particular section. Woody, would you agree?
I don't think I do. I think that Hama is going to take the win this time. They are down in the losers bracket only because they went up against a team that got a perfect war. INTZ took them down with a 15-star lead. But look, Hama have got a higher overall percentage destruction. They've got a higher hit rate. I think that they have got to be the favorite team here.
I like that, you know. I like that we've got a bit of back and forth going on in the studio. We've got one caster thinking that potentially Darkest MuZhan might take this with the experience, and then Woody coming in with Hama's prediction. So let's go straight into Darkest MuZhan's first attack.
Yeah, and we're going to have Kartik going in with the drag bat. We got 9 dragons here with 1 E-drag. E-drag maybe to help set a final potentially, because typically if you send an E or multiple E-drags in and the dragons remove their defenses in front of it, the E-drag just won't get the value that you want. So here we go. E-drag is end up being used for the top side, and he's finding a Tesla farm, which is absolutely perfect. Look at this chain value. So the Tesla farm will go down. He sends 1 balloon in there as well with a boulder bounce. Oh, wait a second. A boulder bounce onto the wizard tower. Absolutely brilliant idea for funneling right there because he can reach there. And now we can send the dragons. And then the king and the queen are going to come further south. And he's going to be able to charge his way straight through. And the dragons have nowhere to go but staying in the core of this base.
This is a beautiful start from Kartik and getting some maximum value from this bowler bouncing onto a wizard tower as well. It seems like every little vulnerability of the space has been perfectly taken advantage of. Kartik moving in with a main force now up at the top. Those dragons are awesome at taking down those big structures, especially when they're raged up like this. He's losing quite a few of them to that Giga Inferno though, and I'm a bit worried that he didn't use enough spell coverage to protect them early on in this raid. Still, there's not too much to worry about on the back end, only 1 air defense, and that's the biggest threat against a dragon army like this. Lots of chain lightning value from that Electro Dragon, and this raid could still go pretty far. However, I think 3 stars is going to be pretty unlikely with that Archer Queen on the backside still looking very healthy and no real clear way to take it around.
Yeah, unfortunately, the biggest issue there was the enemy Royal Champion, which pulled the dragons kind of off the town hall, and they had to move their way around. Now, the enemy queen is up in the core, and there are no splash damage except that eagle artillery that could wreck the bats, but the bats have gotten into the range of the eagle, so it won't do any damage to them. And now they're moving their way around, and they're getting picked off one by one by the archer tower. And then there is the single target in front of that queen is going to do work, and the bats are dying off. Very nice try by Kartik, but it's just going to be the 2-star into the 90% range.
Yeah, I'd say never before have we seen a stage 1 set up so beautifully into an attack, but still fall short ultimately. Kartik's hit early on created a beautiful funnel, but there was just a little bit too much resistance and not enough spell support for those dragons on the top side of the base to make their way down south. That enemy Archer Queen, she's just 1 troop, but she's deadly for aerial raids, and it didn't really seem like Kartik had any idea about how to deal with her on the backside, just hoping that the dragons made it all the way through. But as you noted, Carbon, with that Royal Champion providing some blocking power there for Ronyo's base, Hama will hold on to that 3rd and final star on defense.
Yeah, it was a really nice try there. Just lost that push through the court, and the Dragons lost so much HP trying to get through that Town Hall, and the Warren ability was just a little bit I think it was just a little bit late, and the Dragons kind of moved off to the top side away, but we're jumping into the very next attack from Hama, which is going to be Miso coming in with the Yeti Smash with double the jumps here, and the Grand Warden is going to be used at the very beginning and has some of the Sneaky Goblins. So you can see some of these players are loving to use the Sneaky Goblins. We're seeing some Super Witches, and we're seeing a great variety of these Super Troops here in these attacks. And I mean, if you're not using one of these Super Troops, I'm just wondering, what are you doing? I would use a Super Troop at every single one of my hits.
Absolutely, and they're particularly deadly on defense. That Inferno Dragon can burn up through any big attacker, especially if you've got a Lava Hound out in front to provide some blocking there. Miso's going to be continuing his push through the top side. He's a really strong attacker with a 94% average destruction from his first 2 hits, but has yet to get that coveted 3-star, always coming just a little bit short. He's going to be moving in with a ground-based army, using that Yeti Smash technique with 2 jump spells to make his way through these relatively small compartments toward the interior of the space. Already the Eagle Artillery starting to fire away, though, locked onto the bulk of that Yeti Smash piercing maneuver at the very front of the space. He's going to get an easy way to get that Town Hall down first for the single star to start with, Carbon.
Yep, pops that Grand Warden Totem. Hopefully he can take the Town Hall down just in time. It's still barely staying up. It's taking forever.
Oh, no.
No, the Town Hall is not going down. The bowlers. Oh, they just avoid the Town Hall Gigabound, though. Oh, lucked out there, but can he push his way through the core, though? I don't know. We'll have to see if he can keep the momentum up, but the healers are not switching off to the Yetis.
I don't know how you can justify that sort of a hit, Carbon Fin. He took a ton of damage early on and couldn't get that Town Hall down in time. Now, he actually did have the Grand Warden Eternal Tome protecting from most of the Giga Inferno damage there, but wow, what a misplay here early on from Miso. I don't know if you could have really predicted what was going to happen there, to play devil's advocate, but geez, that really hurt him early on and is going to deny him the 3-star for sure. No access to that Inferno Tower in the left side compartment means that it's just going to burn up a couple of healers along their way toward the bottom side of the space, never really getting a chance to fire away at that Eagle Artillery either. It has just pulverized this attack. Miso trying his best to catch up against that percentage destruction that we just saw put up by Darkest MuZhan, but I think that MuZhan's going to have a slim lead as this attack starts to peter out.
Yeah, unfortunately, that momentum through the core was not able to keep it. Now it's just these barbs trying to grab some more percentage, and with some minions on the outside. Very nice attack from Miso trying to get it. Remember, the percentage is close, 92% from Darkest MuZhan, and this one is going to be about an 89, so it is neck and neck here, and neither one of these clans want to be going home, so the percentage is there. Banks, it's going to be anyone's game here.
Miso with an unfortunately just being held at the gates just a little bit too long. It was very unfortunate there for him. But like you said, extremely close on percentage. Have Hama lost their nerve? It's too early to tell. Obviously the match is still extremely close, but let's take a quick look at this replay from Miso, Woody.
Take a look at this early strike into the interior of the base. Inferno and Giga Inferno are just burning up these troops while there's so much damage coming in from the scatter shots on the backside. Had to pop that Grand Warden Eternal Tome relatively early, and that left Miso without the bulk of the force that he needed to protect against so many defensive structures firing away at his troops early on. Had the jump spells and the maneuverability to get around the base, but just not the firepower necessary to knock those big buildings down.
Yeah, we're taking a look at now Wei, who was the MVP of the last year's World Championship team, and he's coming in to try to help take down Miso's base, which Wei is using the 8 dragons. Yes, just mass dragons. Notice how he's using these boulders to set the funnel, and then there is an opening in the wall next to that king platform. Is he going to try to take advantage of it and send the queen towards the Eagle Artillery? Because he does have one super wall breaker. Down goes that, but wait a second, that is a multi-target Inferno. It's not going to do really anything to the World Champion here.
Great read here by Wei, attacking where the defense is least concentrated. World Champion is a bit distracted by those skeletons, though, and has already used her ability, so she's not going to get a whole lot more work done on that side. Instead, take a look over at the Barbarian King and the Archer Queen, who are stabbing into this base right now. Taking down one of those scatter shots is really important to protect these dragons on the backside. They're going to have 4 balloons to provide a little bit of cushioning out in front and protect them for their push. One of them actually getting used on the Tesla over there on the left corner, but wow. Almost half of the space has been finished off, and Wei is just getting ready for the main stage of his attack right now. Lots of storage is along the outside of this here, but the funnel is looking pretty good, and with a stone sliver to back things up, these dragons are going straight for their target, Carbon.
Wei, he doesn't have an archer to move the lava hound. Oh no, that's one of the biggest mistakes. You need to take at least 1 or 2 archers just in case if you pull the CC. I know, granted, he had no plans to pull that clan castle out, but in case you do, the lava hound has to be moved. Right now, it's going to slow these dragons down in the core tremendously.
And a tornado.
Oh no, look at this hound. It's going to be tanking all the stuff in the core, and the dragon's getting locked onto it.
Miso, dastardly on defense, has got the Lava Hound and Tornado Trap, just what Wei did not want to have to run into. There is a possibility that he could still get a big 2-star hit from this raid, and 3 stars isn't yet out of the question, but really slowed down there in the center of the base when he really couldn't afford it. These dragons still making their way to the top, and with a little bit of chip damage from those dragons early on, they're able to take down the air defense. This might still be a 3 Carbon, even with all the difficulty earlier on.
Yeah, he shredded through that lava hound. He made that look so easy. I would have thought the hound was going to stall up the dragons, but it's absolutely amazing. Wei just says, I don't care. I'm going right through. He took out the sweeper earlier, so he didn't have to fight the sweeper through the town hall section because the other sweeper was pointed towards the 1 o'clock side. Very nice attack coming in from Wei for Darkest MuZhan. Beautiful job. That's absolutely what they needed here in this war.
Awesome job to Wei, coming in clutch exactly when Darkest MuZhan needed it most. They had a little bit of a lead, but the pressure is really on the team that goes first to put those 3 stars up on the board and pull far ahead. Hama now have got their feet to the fire, trying to just match pace against the Darkest MuZhan team that sent in one of their best in the second attack there and didn't come home empty-handed.
Yeah, we're going to see PSH coming in with the hybrid as well in this attack here. And he's kind of using one of the attacks that I've seen Lex for Tribe Gaming use, where he likes to use 1 Yeti on the outside to help set that funnel. But here goes the blimp straight into the scatter shot. Pulls out that clan castle, which we do see some goblins, the Inferno Dragon, and the archers there. Can he grab the scatter? And yes, it does go down. And drops the queen on the complete opposite side of where he dropped the blimp, which is going to have to wait for these CC troops to run all the way across. There is 1 headhunter there, and get ready for the 4 healers to charge his way in.
Inferno Dragon looking deadly. It's got a few troops out in front to block for it, but nice use of the poison spell there. Should be enough to keep this Archer Queen safe. She's firing away at all these attacking troops, but wow, forcing out a freeze spell as well. PSH was really worried about those defending CC troops. Still, it looks like he'll be able to make it through after all, and did in fact bring a super wall breaker, so can crack into one of these outer compartments whenever he chooses to do so. He's got a little bit of pathing that's going to go around the bottom side. I'm not sure he's going to actually be able to target onto that town hall. Really nice job there by B on defense, creating a little bit of a gap in those walls to prevent the Archer Queen from making that stab into the base. But nonetheless, I think that that town hall is going to be going down pretty soon after, thanks to these miners.
Yep. Oh, the miners took some massive damage from that 1 eagle shot there. Gonna burn the... No, look at that. Beautiful job identifying not using the War Internal Tome, because the miners will go under the town hall. Now pops it for the Hog Riders, and that's why he delayed those hogs, so he didn't have to force that warden, and then he could use it deeper into the court. Really smart identification there. You don't see many players do. They just assume, I always pop an ability or the warden over the town hall, but with miners, you don't have to do that. You can use it a little bit later as long as the hogs are not there. And now, charging his way through with 1 heal and another rage. The healers have transferred off. Look at the rage, but this... Oh, that's a multi. I was going to say them. The Inferno Tower is on the World Champion, but she doesn't have her ability anymore. And unfortunately, we'll have to see if he's going to have the momentum push. He's got a handful of miners still up. He might have a chance here, Woody.
Those Hog Riders were just a big disappointment. PSH dropped a wasted freeze spell on the Inferno Tower earlier on, trying to protect them and make this push happen, but there's just not enough to justify that sort of big investment when you're this late on the game. PSH is not going to get the 3-star by any stretch and is really struggling to get that overall damage higher up. But so many defensive structures along the exterior, archer towers and mortars spread out around. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this very much higher at all. I even see a Tesla up on the top side. So there's like not any 3 structures for PSH to get. That's going to really pull them far down behind Darkest MuZhan now. And they're going to have to put some back-to-back triples up on the board in order to remain competitive later on.
Yeah, very nice try right there. It's just going to be, it looks like up toward, no, the Archer's definitely not going to get that Dark Elixir Stores. It's just going to be the 74% 2-star there for PSH of Hama. And they're going to have to try to look to get a 3-star to answer what Darkest MuZhan did. Banks, this is coming down to the wire. We talked about it before where it was close on percent, but now Darkest MuZhan is edging out with that 1 3-star.
Exactly. PSH, unfortunately, dragging that average percentage down into the early 80s. So Darkest MuZhan kind of can ease off the pedal a little bit, alleviate some of that pressure, maybe make a few more confident plays, and then we'll just have to see how this one plays out, Woody.
Sure will, but as we all know, fortune favors the bold. We have seen lots of strong attacks from Darkest MuZhan in the first couple of stages of this war, and they look to be continuing on in style. They've got a hybrid army here, but backed up with a kitchen sink full of troops, a giant to soak a few shots, goblins moving around, super wall breakers, balloons. It seems like every little thing that PSH has set up to try to frustrate UZP has already been predicted in advance. He's moving in hot with the Royal Champion to start things off, tossing that shield off to knock down quite a few of those defensive structures on the interior. That's looking like a really great setup so far. Even 5 healers to boost this Archer Queen, pulling out a few of the troops from that CC, but not a full pull just yet. But getting those 2 headhunters out of the way means that UZP doesn't have to worry very much about what's left in there. He might even actually be able to crack in toward that Eagle Artillery before it even activates, Carbon.
I think this might be the first time that we're seeing the Royal Champion being suited onto a hybrid attack because you have a Headhunter. I've talked about this before, where the Headhunter opens up the ability to kind of sui your Royal Champion. Normally, you always have to like send it in with the Miners and Hogs to help take down those heroes or things like that. But with a Headhunter, even though the Miners, granted, they can take out the Queen or the enemy heroes, it really changes the game. I mean, the Headhunter also changes the game for the lower Town Hall, Town Hall 12 as well, because of the fact that it does target onto those heroes. But this Queen is getting a massive amount of value through this Expo, through the Eagle Artillery, gonna even get the other Expos that's on the other side of the Clan Castle, and now he's using the hybrids way straight into the Town Hall. Beautiful job so far.
Yeah, this is a near perfect stage 1 of the attack. Even that poison spell got every single one, except for maybe just one little straggling lava pup on the exterior. UZP has kept his healers nice and healthy, used that balloon to mine sweep into that seeking air mine and dropped it like a coconut. He's moving in now with those Hog Riders and keeping them in tip-top shape. Even has another heal spell and a freeze on the back end to protect them in case that multi-target Inferno gives them any trouble. He's keeping them well within the range of the life ore of that Grand Warden and burning down these defenses. 2 Wizard Towers on the back end could cause a little bit of trouble here, but he's going to drop that first freeze to keep them protected. Lots of Hog Riders and Miners. This is just a walloping victory from UZP.
This is looking wonderful. Look at all these Hogs, Miners, and even the P.E.K.K.A. from the Siege Barracks is still up with like 1 million Wizards. The Queen burns her ability, finds a Tornado Trap, and even a backside balloon. He's got everything for this base and absolutely dissected it for the 3-star for Darkest MuZhan.
UZP is a madman on a rampage. The big star advantage for Darkest MuZhan is pushed even higher right off the back of this triple from a world champion. UZP does not disappoint and has got his clan another step closer to the playoffs.
Absolutely beautiful attack there, sending the Royal Champion in at the very beginning. Got so much value. The Queen set the other funnel, and then the hybrid straight into the Town Hall, and beautiful Warden Eternal Tome to protect those Hog Riders and Miners through everything while the Town Hall was shooting back at them, and then finished up with so many troops left up there. It was absolutely beautiful. We're seeing these pro players showing how to get it done, especially with the hybrid, which is a pretty old meta now at the moment. We've seen so many new ones, and we're seeing more of the hybrid, and this is a little different style base where that way is bringing us with the town hall right next to the clan castle, and it's kind of all in one little area, but we'll have to see how if Ranjo for Hama is going to dissect this with the hybrid.
Hama is living on a prayer. They need a perfect war from here on out. Nothing short of that will keep them competitive against the darkest MuZhan squad that has already put up 2 triples. Ranjo is going to be starting off with that Archer Queen over on the left corner, backed up with those healers, of course, to keep her nice and safe as she paths through this bottom left side pocket. This is actually a really big pocket that she can deal a ton of damage in as long as she can stay topped off. Distraction skeletons are going to slow her down a little bit here, but she's got some nice healing from those healers right behind her and rage them up as well. That is going to be plenty of firepower to get through the outer layer of this base, drawing out the CC as well. Can she target on the Inferno Dragon first? Yes, she does. He's going to drop a free spell anyways, though, just to keep her nice and safe, but it's the Inferno Tower that's actually going to be the main threat here, burning up these healers.
Wow, the Infernos, yeah, the multi-target Inferno did work on those healers, and a single target Inferno was forced that freeze right there, pops the Grand Warden Trento super early here through the Town Hall, and this Queen's making her way, continuing down the base. Hogs do come out of the siege barracks, but can he push his way and keep the movement? The Queen is down! He wanted that Queen to keep that push all the way through the bottom side of this base, but with a Lava Hound and an Inferno Dragon defending in that clan castle, it was forced him to pop that free spell on the Inferno Dragon, but I feel he could have gotten away with not dropping the freeze because the Queen locked onto the Inferno Dragon first, I believe. Especially through a poison, it takes so long for the Inferno Dragon to charge up his beam with that poison spell on it.
You are absolutely right about that, Carbon, and the panic drop of that free spell left his healers high and dry, a trial by fire that they just could not survive with so many Inferno beams ripping them apart. The tearing and just like absolute destruction through that support wave left Ranger without any way of dealing with the backside of the space, and Hama are now in absolutely dire straits. Darkest MuZhan clapping each other on the back and celebrating now as their 8 to 6 star advantage in the first 3 hits have left little to wonder here who's going to be moving on to the playoffs.
Yeah, we're going to have to see 2 really good defenses from Hama and then triples as well if they're going to want to have a chance to advance here. But they're going to have to take all the risks. I mean, it's possible. Never say it's not impossible, but they have a chance. They do indeed have a chance. I've seen crazier comebacks in this game before. So you just have to believe, and it comes down. You never know if something ends up happening.
Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. Yes,
it's still possible. We're holding out hope.
I will have to say, unfortunately for Hama, have they lost their nerve? I'll say it again. Have they lost their nerve? Losing to INTZ with all of those triples, has that knocked them back a peg? And now they just can't seem to clamber back up. Darkest MuZhan sitting on a 97% average percentage right now. And Hama just looks like they're slipping. I'm going to have to agree with Woody here. It looks like this is Darkest MuZhan's game. Isn't that right, Carbon?
I mean, it's looking like Darkest MuZhan's game, but don't, I've never count anybody out. You might be looking back at this like, see if Carbon's right, but granted, it's all on Darkest MuZhan's favor. I would love to be in the position that they are in right now, and we have the balloon going down, and we're going to see the Zaplo. If this is a 3-star, then it is all but done for Hama. And here we go with the Yeti on the outside to help set this funnel. So he can charge these heroes, it looks like, straight into this town hall, and he's waiting to drop these lightnings. That's going to be a little interesting because you don't want to pull that CC. He doesn't have a poison spell, so watch out. That lightning's going to have to come soon.
I'm going to drink my jug of pickle juice if Darkest MuZhan doesn't win this war. 3 attacks already, and I'm pretty well convinced that there's nothing that can stop this squad. They're already going for the Town Hall early on in this hit, so you know it's going to be at least a 2-star, and I'm pretty sure that Jin is going to be able to back it up with these double Lava Hounds in front of the 24 balloons to finish off the rest of this raid. Big lightning strike early on negated that clan castle in the center, and the only things I'm really worried about now are that Eagle Artillery relatively well positioned in the center of the space, but where do the air defenses go? They're all kind of on the outside. That top left and bottom left air defense are looking kind of deadly, but that top right one could easily be taken down by pretty much any stab at the outside of the base. Going to finish that off pretty quickly. So Arch Queen pops that ability, and wow, she's even going to get a few shots away at that single target Inferno.
Yeah, absolutely incredible value that he got. Watch out for a bunch of red air bombs on the other side of the Eagle and Expo. That's where I would put the red air bombs because there's no air defenses. Oh, there's one. Watch out. I think you're going to find a million there. So what these balloons that are going to this Expo might get shredded unless the Grand Warden ability is going to protect him. Stone Slammer's moving up, and he's going to move his way around here. Going to go through. Grand Warden still has the ability. Pops it. And let's see. No, there's the... Oh, there's all the red air bombs. Oh, boy. At least it was under the protection
the Grand
of
Warden's
the ability.
protecting them.
Wow. I was worried that the red air bombs were going to be right there.
They were right there, but the Grand Warden negated all of that damage. So many balloons to just bomb the heck out of these troops. The buildings could not put up much of any defense at all, and Chen is on his way to another triple. Darkest MuZhan have really moved on and found their path to the playoffs, blazing a trail to victory.
Man, beautiful attack there for Darkest MuZhan with the Zap Lalo. I would love, after all the qualifier wars are done, to find out what the hit rate of the Zap Lalo is. That would be amazing to know because we're seeing so many triples with it in the qualifiers. And I've been doing a lot of them, not only in Legends, but also in Wars. So everybody at home, definitely take notes on this attack strategy because you could be doing it and getting the 3 stars. It's absolutely incredible. It's actually a lot of fun to do as well.
You gotta build a base that's anti-lightning Lalo because this strat has been so effective. You're right on the money here, Carbon, and I think we're only now kind of starting to see a few players out there who are building bases that are really specifically designed to prevent them. I pointed that out yesterday with Boom's base design. Go take a look at his if you want to get an idea for the sort of steps that you have to take to deny that sort of hit, but like yeah, Giovanni is going to be moving in next. He's got a ground-based army instead, using that hybrid, so we don't usually see the Lightning paired up with this squad. But man, these teams have been experimenting with lots of different attack strategies and have really found some interesting off-meta ways of taking advantage of the big changes in the game. This Headhunter being incorporated into virtually every army composition we've seen so far, Carbon.
Absolutely. The one thing I'm waiting to see is a Headhunter used in a blimp to help take down a section where a hero is and no rage. That's the one thing I don't think we've seen, but we'll have to see. Maybe one day, maybe one of these attacks. But here we go. Anyways, a blimp which took out the town hall under the rage. Really nice. Pulled out that clan castle. Queen's taking care of the CC. And that Headhunter's doing a little bit of damage, slowing that queen down. It's kind of like an ice golem in a way, kind of hitting the queen there, but the queen's gonna take down the hound. There's the pups. Does not have, I'm looking to see no minion on this. Usually tend to see one minion for the pups. Decides to drop that one wizard. Now the queen's gonna walk around. Does have 2 super wall breakers to break her into the base here with the hybrid.
Yeah, I think Hama got a little bit worried that the damage from the Headhunter was gonna threaten the queen and force out maybe an ability there. So he dropped that poison spell a little bit earlier than usual. That meant that the pups were actually able to survive with the poison spell wearing off and force a little bit more time out of Giovanni's attack. We're already halfway through the attack now and only 16% overall damage. We are really going to need a fast sweep through this base with a hybrid army if there's going to be any shot at all at the 3-star. He has taken down the town hall though, so all he's got to worry about is just finishing off percentage as high as he can get. The Archer Queen looking steady through the left side, taking down a ground-based Expo, but those healers are getting pushed back a little bit by the sweeper, kind of slowing things down. Shouldn't be too much trouble for a queen that's relatively topped off though.
Yeah. And that one free spell was just a little bit too late, and those hogs took a massive amount of damage from that scatter shot, forced to pop that queen ability. Here comes some Headhunters following in with the hybrid, moving their way in. The queen is stuck on this wall.
Oh, he's got the freeze.
Oh, he froze it. Okay, he can keep the queen alive. Yeah. Still, and he still has a king. Okay, I completely lost where the king is.
The king's right there in the thick of it.
In the core of the base. He was supposed to be on the outside running all the way around towards 3 and up towards the base, but unfortunately he ran in, and that's not what Giovanni wanted in this attack. But can he still turn this one around? What? I
think the king can hear you. He's making his way to the outside. But yeah, as you've noticed, even though it was a pretty impressive strike, it was just so super slow to start off with. And Giovanni was a guy that we mentioned earlier, got the 3-star on day number 1, but without a single second to spare in his attack. His second attack that we saw earlier got the 3-star as well. He's one of the highest hit rate players in the game, but just playing it too close, walking along the razor's edge and ran out of time. with this third and final hit.
Yeah. Wow, he could have swagged that heal spell. Banks, we're seeing some crazy attacks here for Darkest MuZhan. They're coming in, really going to be punching their ticket to the next playoffs. They're trying to get there, but still some great action so far.
Yeah, they are indeed. That 2-star, just not enough for Hama. Darkest MuZhan are really just running away with this. They've got one attack left to put themselves solidified and into that next round. And it's looking like, it's looking likely, isn't it, really? Woody, take us through this beginning of this one. We've got B from Darkest MuZhan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure actually that Darkest MuZhan have already guaranteed their victory at a 98% average. There's kind of nothing that B could do here to screw it up, even if he just hits in battle already. I think that they're so far ahead that Hama could not catch up even with a triple. So it's going to be a victory lap, as we like to say, for B. Another opportunity to drop down and deal some damage to this base. But wow, the lower bracket has really had a lot of action today. ATN.aTTaX has just had such a great showing, and backing it up with another one from Darkest MuZhan. The playoffs are really going to be an excellent opportunity to switch things up, as Group A and Group B are going to be turned on their heads, with Tribe going up against Darkest MuZhan and ATN.aTTaX facing off against INTZ. We are really going to mix things up tomorrow with some excellent war fighting action. But take a look at the attack right now with B pulling out that CC and actually getting a drop, a free spell. Yeah, worried about that Inferno Dragon, which is really burning up that Archer Queen.
That's so interesting. Like, the Infernal Dragon forcing a free spell now usually would never drop a free spell on a queen charge like this. We're trying to deal with a clan castle, but the Infernal Dragon makes that, pretty much forces you to, if you don't think the queen's gonna lock onto it right away. And maybe the best case would be to have, if the queen wasn't down, like a drop a minion, so the Inferno Dragon comes over a little bit faster than the queen, and then the Lava Hound will stay back a little bit further, which could be a way to maybe counter it, as I'm thinking about right now. But still, if you don't do that right away, it can be super difficult. And the Yeti, and though not the Yeti, well, yeah, here comes the Yeti. He's probably gonna charge into the town hall with some witches on the outside. Super Wall Breaker opens it, but he sent that Royal Champion in right away. He's not waiting. She's gonna help try to take this town hall down.
Yeah, finishing that off for the first star. B from Darkest MuZhan has put that last nail in the coffin, guaranteeing that his team will move on. But a Tornado Trap grabbing all of the troops there, forcing a rage spell out now from B just to keep them on target. He's continuing his path through destruction through this base along the top side. He's going to drop another jump spell. Really good positioning there. That should get him through almost all of the base, and only has to worry about another single target Inferno on the backside down there with an Eagle, or with rather an Archer Queen to try to defend things here. But that Archer Queen is not going to stay up for very long. Raged up, B's own Archer Queen fires away at her, drop a free spell on top of that, and this base is done for, Carbon Fin.
Yeah, absolutely. The queen still has her ability with one headhunter still to use. I mean, it's going to be a cleanup headhunter at this point, because all the enemy heroes are down. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, he's going to have to move around the base. I don't think there's any troll castles anywhere, because everything is pretty much down. And the king, the queen, the warden, every hero except the Royal Champion is still alive here. And that is going to be another 3-star for Darkest MuZhan, and they're going to be one away from the perfect. We're seeing what, a 14-star, 99%. We're seeing a perfect war. We're seeing another 14-star, 98.4%. Just absolutely incredible kind of attacks, incredible wars from these clans here.
Yeah, offense has really been on point for these squads, leaving no stone unturned and taking advantage of every little single bit of housing space that they can to try to find the ideal army comp to deconstruct these bases. 14 stars, perfect wars. Offense is really looking OP in this first Clash of Clans World Championship of the year, and I'm really looking forward to how the playoffs will be progressing. But we've got one more final attack to take a look at first. It's going to be Yurek from Hama making his last stab at this base with a hybrid army. 9 hogs and 16 miners, backed up with a nice complement of heal, rage, and free spells to keep them on path here. It's going to be an attack out the right lane to start things off, holding on to those 5 healers until he thinks it's time to get them in. 2 balloons might provide a little bit of coconut loon mine sweeping out in front, but otherwise looks like Tesla farm out on the right lane is going to get engaged early here. Yurek is actually going to get a pretty good result from that, huh, Carbon?
Yeah, Yurek is one of the best attackers in the game, and he's going to come in and try to show that for Hama. And the Queen's going to charge her way straight into this Town Hall section. Let's see if she decides to actually grab it. Notice that we do have 2 multi-target Infernos. And if you were to, let's say, Lalo a base like this, that would be very, very difficult. And this base, it kind of spread things out. So you can't get the value like for a Zap Lalo or for like using the lightning spell. So we're going to start to see base metas change to try to help prevent that, force you to do other attack strategies, which might not be as high of a hit rate, Woody.
Yeah, relatively conservative drop there with that rage spell. Didn't get the Archer Queen included in the second stage of that hit, and also she's not going to be able to take down the X, but that's a lot more damage going to be stacked on top of her. With the poison spell coming out down to handle some of these lava pups, it looks like the fight will still be going on here. Yurek is going to miss a few of those pups that have gone kind of down toward the bottom side of the space, engaging now against the hogs and the miners that are making their way through those bottom compartments. It's relatively spread out, though, and hard to imagine where Yurek is going to be able to concentrate his forces. Needs to be able to take down this Archer Queen and the Eagle Artillery quickly, but drops a free spell hitting only the Archer Queen. Still, I guess the Eagle Artillery is finished off, and with that multi-target Inferno down, it looks like Yurek has got a path to victory here. Only a minute left in the raid, though. Can he finish cleaning up the rest of the base?
He's got a few hogs on the bottom side of the Queen. Ooh, wait a second. She does have ability. That is a single target Inferno. I don't know. There's just a little too many defenses here. The Warden's going to pick off the platform. Queen goes for the wall. Queen.
Burn it! Burn the ability!
Oh! There's an opening. Go around the wall, Queen. Don't go through it for the single. Oh, man.
Oh, man, and a giant bomb. Knocks down the archers, but the Queen's still alive for a little while. Healers try to top her off, but there's just not enough in there. Yurek's forces seem to get all the way through this base. Look, there's only 3 buildings left inside the walls, but just couldn't clear out to the other side. Those hogs and miners found a bit too much that they were up against. Nice attempt here from Yurek, but falling short in the final hit here from Hama. It's going to be victory for Darkest MuZhan, a 14-star advantage over the 10 dropped from Hama.
Yes, indeed. 82%, unfortunately, for that last attack for Hama, meaning that Darkest MuZhan are going to be going into the next round, which will be tomorrow, and they will be facing off against Tribe Gaming, a team that has actually been coming into this live qualifier with full force and are yet to lose a war. Now, I heard you mention before, Carbon, that actually the base building you think that has to be improved because the attacks already, the meta is kind of already being understood. People are starting to use the new attacks very, very well. So when it comes to the base building, is that something they've got to work on a lot more?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The base meta has to change, and you're going to see those Eagle Artillery's Queen CCs all be placed different, and so you don't get those values, or you can bait it and then run multi-target Inferno, so it'll be really difficult to do the Lalo, maybe with air skellies now.
So Darkest MuZhan just defeated Hama, and so I'm going to throw you over to Judo at the Telestrator to show us how they did it.
Thank you, Banks. They did what they needed to do. They've got some World Championship winners on their team way, starting out this one with an old school way of setting the funnel. The bowlers to bounce onto the mortars. Now, if the building behind the initial one the bowler is targeting is the same or greater, just know you can take that out. Also, I really like the use of the brand new Headhunter troop sneaking in to do damage onto the Barbarian King, allowing the Royal Champion through and protecting her health, because she has a pretty big job here to get in towards the Eagle Artillery and the 2 air defense. Dragons are the main phase of this attack, and it's something that we haven't seen so far in the qualifiers. So whilst the Royal Champion is continuing her job, I really like that way start the King and the Queen down to the bottom. We've seen so many attacks come down to the wire. You need to make sure that you do not time fail. Also, some top level play, recognizing that there is a Tesla that has popped over in this area, sends in 1 balloon alongside the minion to take that out, and what that means is the minion can help with cleanup. But if we move on to pathing, which we so often talk about, King and Queen have taken out the bottom, Royal Champion has taken out this other side, meaning that the dragons now just have this right hand side of the base to move through. And you can think about dragons very similar to miners in the sense that they attack everything, so you've got to make sure you have the pathing for them. Since he does have that, he only has the sweeper to worry about. He can send them straight in. Now, Wei gets a little bit unfortunate in terms of his heroes pulling the Lava Hound. That's where you will often see an archer to pull that to the side. However, because the dragons had that clear pathing through the base, it was set up so well, they were able to take it down, and ultimately he held his nerve as well. Whenever you see attackers holding on to spells for the back end of the base, that is where you can see that top level play. Recognizes that the air defense, archer tower and the scatter shot is the main targets towards the back end, so freezes that, makes sure not to use the freeze too early when the dragons were well protected. And what it meant is that Darkest MuZhan are the 4th clan that we will be seeing tomorrow. We know all of the teams that will be attacking in day 3. And I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited for it. We are going to see some epic matches, Banks.
Thank you so much, Judo. Yes, thank you so much for breaking down that match. 4 matches have been today. We have 4 teams remaining in this competition in the live qualifiers who are going to be going up against each other for that chance for that golden ticket and one step closer to that $1 million prize pool. Now, this is what the bracket for the playoffs is going to look like tomorrow. Carbon, take us through this one.
Yeah, we're going to be kicking it off with Tribe Gaming taking on Darkest MuZhan. Tribe winning out from Group A, did not lose. And Darkest MuZhan, you just got there, and they're going to be taking on Tribe to try and it's the best of 1 in the series right there and to move on to the finals. And we have a really great match in the next one there, Woody.
We sure do. It's going to be INTZ, another undefeated team up against ATN.aTTaX, a squad that put a perfect war up on the board yesterday. We have really got some highly contentious matches ahead of us tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. We've only got 1 golden ticket to give away, and it's anyone's guess which of these 4 teams is going to get it.
It is going to be an absolutely remarkable set of matches tomorrow. I'm sure we're all highly anticipating it. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. To the casters, to Woody, Carbon and Judo, thank you so much for all your hard work. To the production team, who have all worked tirelessly to bring you some of the best Clash of Clans esports has to offer. And tomorrow, it's Championship Sunday. So I know where I'm going to be, right here at 4 p.m. CEST. We will be here to help deliver that golden ticket to that first clan through to the World Finals and that one step closer to that $1 million prize pool. My name is Banks, and I'll see you tomorrow.